Even when he's sitting down, looks creative. On his right, Sergei Fedorov, the 1994 Hart Trophy winner, as NHL MVP. Look out. On the left side, 25-year-old Slava Kozlov. Is this guy a sniper? Yeah, he is. Back at the blue line, tough and nasty Vladimir Konstantinov. And rounding out this unit, the cagey veteran of many international championships, Slava Fetisov. Red alert in Calgary last Friday. The unit was together and puck movement was at a premium. The result? A couple of lovely goals. This one by Kozlov, one of them. So look out, the Red Wings red unit has arrived. It's a red alert. Deflector shields on full. Winnipeg big line, Keith Tkachuk fifth and lead scoring on the right side. Teemu Selanne, 5-point night last week. On the left side, Igor Korolev, 10 goals. Get the point? They've got 24 of them in the last 3 games. I'll take 2 right down front, please. Should be a great one to watch. The Winnipeg Jets have not lost on home ice. They are hosting the Detroit Red Wings on Molson NHL tonight. Step right up. Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the show. I'm Paul Romanuk along with Gary Green. Great to have you with us. It is going to be a great night for unit watching. If you can say that on TV, we just did. Great units to watch tonight. You have the Tkachuk, Selanne, and Korolev for the Winnipeg Jets. The big 5-man unit up there for the Detroit Red Wings. I'll tell you, the Jets having no problem scoring at all. This line is the big reason.
Well, Tkachuk, one of the hottest players right now. In fact, the hottest player in the National Hockey League with 15 points in his last 6 games. He's missed 3 games this season with his groin injury. He is really playing well. The Jets offensively are playing well. In fact, when you look at them compared to other teams in the National Hockey League, right now they are second to only that of the high-flying offensive Pittsburgh Penguins. The Jets' problem, though, of course, keeping it out. And as Bob and Gord had talked about, the Winnipeg Jets are doing that offensively without Alexei Zhamnov, of course, and Zhamnov led this team last year offensively and was 3rd best in the National Hockey League.
Yeah, they checked him out today, and he's still day-to-day, although they hope he's going to be back for their next game. Same situation for Dallas Drake. Now, with the Detroit Red Wings, boy, it takes me back to international hockey about 10 years ago. The glory days of the Big Red Machine, that 5-man unit. We'll see them tonight.
Well, a happy 5 Russians could be, well, good news for the Detroit Red Wings and Scotty Bowman. Igor Larionov is going to bring this unit now some character. He's good defensively. In his 5 years in the National Hockey League, he's been a good leader, both on the ice and off the ice, and that's why Pat Quinn wanted him to play with McGillney and Burry, and that's why Scotty Bowman has wanted him here and got him here in a Detroit Red Wing sweater. Now, let's not forget, of course, we talk about the Russian 5-man unit. There's a pretty good 5-man unit that Scotty Bowman's got to go to as well, provided that Primo's okay. He was skating in warm-ups, but he did get hit with a puck in practice yesterday.
And Larionov was teammates with the Fetisov, Konstantinov, and Fedorov back in those good old Red Army unit days. And hereafter, there will be a $5 fine for each mention of the word unit on this broadcast. Right now, let's send it back to the unit headquarters. A couple other games going on tonight. Let's say hello again to Gord Miller and Bob McKenzie.
First fine to those guys. You just said it.
There you go, the big unit.
Elsewhere tonight, Colorado at Dallas. Very quietly. Dallas has played very well. Colorado has unloaded Wendell Clark and Owen Nolan since the start of the year. That's 333 career NHL goals.
That's one way of looking at it. I'm sure Pierre Lacroix is saying, hey, is the glass half full or half empty? It's half full. We picked up Claude Lemieux, last year's Stanley Cup MVP, to take the place of one of them. And Adam Deadmarsh, a guy who started playing last year as a rookie, is really going to flourish in the absence of Nolan. On the right side now, Deadmarsh is going to get a lot of quality time with either Forsberg or Sakic, and he's going to score a lot of the goals that Nolan otherwise would have had.
Also tonight, San Jose at Vancouver. The Sharks need to get something done about their goaltending, which has really been up and down all season long. That's coming up a little bit later, but right now let's give you our first update this evening of something a little more important, shall we say, a little more serious. The referendum results are starting to pour in from the province of Quebec. We will update you throughout the evening as the referendum continues. Right now, the yes leads 53.4% to 46.6%. Just 1.5% though of the poll is reporting. As I said, we'll have updates through the night, but hockey is coming up next.
Molson NHL Tonight on TSN is brought to you by Molson Canadian. By Pepsi. Nothing else is a Pepsi. And by Advantage Long Distance Services, from the Alliance of Canada's only full-service telecommunications company.
Good song.
Great song.
Being oneself, styled expressionist, punctuating the ordinary, searching innermost pockets for your ID, detecting the truthfulness necessary to unapologetically say, this is the way I am.
Over 60,000 businesses across Canada have Advantage 800 numbers. Last year alone, over $1 billion were generated through them. Now just imagine if you couldn't depend on their reliability. Thankfully,
Gilbert Steel, Sales Division.
you can. Advantage 800 service. Everything in business should be this reliable.
And welcome back to the Winnipeg Arena. The Winnipeg Jets just returned from their longest road trip of the year at 2-2, looking pretty good and all set to face the Detroit Red Wings. Tonight's starting goaltenders are brought to you by Kellogg's, the best to you each morning. Osgood is in goal for Detroit. Mike Vernon was supposed to start. However, his back got a little bit sore at the end of practice this morning. Osgood coming off a shutout against Calgary. Nikolai Habibulin is at the other end. He gave up an early goal to McGillney on Saturday night against Vancouver, but then he was rock solid. Winnipeg went on to win that game. Mike Magoo is your referee tonight. Dan McCourt and Andy McKelman are on the lines, and we are all set to roll. And on such a serious night in the history of the nation, it's a little strange to be in Life's Toy Box, but that's what we cover, and hopefully we can provide a diversion of some sort for you this evening. Red Wings up in the attack right off the bat. McCarty trying to get it off the boards. He's up there with Draper. This line can really mix it up. Pesky units. McCarty to Draper. Airy was flying around out in front of the net as well. King gets it up ahead. Here's Turcotte. He had a couple of goals the last time these two teams met. Wilkinson back to pick it up, and Scotty Bowman makes the quick change. Here's Konstantinov. And the red unit is out there for the Detroit Red Wings. Larionov up to Fedorov. Kozlov is the other forward. Konstantinov and Fetisov back at the blue line. Kozlov trying to come in. Larionov sniping one, and that's picked off by Nikolai Habibulin. Of all the players on the ice out there, the majority are Soviet hockey players.
Well, Scotty Bowman isn't feeling that great tonight. Well, that's because, of course, he ended up with the flu. Not because he doesn't like his hockey team right now. He's been very sick yesterday and today. This Detroit Red Wing team has been out west, it seems, for a long time, and yet have only played one game prior to tonight.
And Detroit scratches numbers. Nobody is injured. Greg Johnson practiced this morning. Looked as though perhaps he was going to play up front in place of Keith Primo, but Primo, despite having a sore ankle, is in the lineup tonight. Here's Fedorov. Just underway. Detroit and Winnipeg zeros on the board. Fedorov gets it up ahead. Fetisov. And offside call in Detroit.
Well, we talked about Terry Simpson's great offense, but the problem that he's got is, of course, the defense on this hockey club. They weren't very good defensively last year, and they're bad defensively this year so far. However, even though they're 22nd in the league, defensively, they played a great game on Saturday night against Vancouver defensively. There you see the scratches. Of course, Zamnov is the key man out right now for them. Hopefully he'll be back to play the Toronto Maple Leafs on Wednesday night.
Just talking to Ed Olchuk before the game. He took a stick in the ribs, says he's okay, it's not too bad. He hopes not to be out all that long. Primo out there now with Yzerman and Cicerelli, and as I mentioned this morning during the skate, Greg Johnson was between those two, Radid and Primo. Primo did not take the skate. He had ice on his ankle.
Now watch this five-man unit out there because they're pretty good with Primo, Yzerman, Cicerelli.
Here's Primo up to Yzerman. Cicerelli drifting towards the slot. Yzerman in the midst of a scoring slump. He got off to a great start this year. Here comes Manson. Shoots. That's stopped by Osgood. And here comes Yzerman on the way. Yzerman with Primo. Gets it to him. Cicerelli's up there too. Primo couldn't dig it loose. And the puck just cleared down the ice. Mentioned that great start Yzerman got off to. Points in the first 5 games, but pointless since then. That's 5 games in a row.
Bowman likes to play Lidstrom and Coffey with this line out there right now as much as he can.
Coffey shoots. Fired that one wide. Primo up after it. Yzerman's in front of the net. Cicerelli up there as well. Puck comes out. Here comes Ronan. And Ronan will just flip it in, and the Jets will change him up. Kachuk comes over the boards. This is Coffey. He'll ring that one up there. Larionov up after it. Kozlov just lurking back along the boards. Couldn't get control of it. And here's Shannon. Knifes it up and ahead. Stapleton on the way. Wilkinson trailing him, but Stapleton eaten up as he found himself amidst a sea of red. And the Red Wings come back. Konstantinov gets it across. Here comes Larionov. Back for Konstantinov. Ricocheted off his skate, thus putting the Red Wings offside.
Igor Larionov in December will be 35 years of age. However, Larionov has only played 5 years in the National Hockey League. Tremendous international experience. He played 3 years for the Vancouver Canucks and then took that year off. When he, well, he shouldn't say off, he went to play in Switzerland. To you and I, that might be a great vacation. May seem like a year off, but he played so well there that it attracted San Jose to pick him up and bring him to their team where he spent the last couple of years. But I don't think Igor Larionov was very happy playing for the San Jose Sharks. He wants to be on a team, and he is now, that has a chance to win it all.
15 seconds left in the power play for Detroit. And the Red Wings power play has been abysmal. Abysmal the last little while. Larionov works it up. Fedorov looking for it. Larionov along the boards. Teams back even up. And here comes Solane. Kachuk leaping up there to join him. Korolev hanging back. He'll take it and he'll fire it. Osgood, nice stop as he flicked out the pad.
Bowman was like that defensively. Paul Korolev was able to shoot right from the slot, untouched.
There has been no goal scorer hotter in the league so far than Korolev. He likes to follow the play up. The third man coming in the attack. He has 10 goals so far. His career total heading into this season, 18.
Play with those two guys, it's a good reason to come late.
Quint fires it in. Solane up there looking for it.
They don't score. There's bound to be some pucks left out in the slot.
Here's Larionov. Martin Lapointe up there as well. Lapointe going towards the net, but the puck skips up around the glass. Here's Bergevin. Manson gets it up to Kachuk. He works it up and ahead. Here comes Doan. Winds up, shoots. Osgood snared him down that time. The rookie, Shane Doan, coming down the right-hand side, got a great shot away. And junior hockey fans, you'll remember Shane. He was the MVP at the Memorial Cup last year. Grimson rubbing his way towards the corner. Here's Doig, and he's bumped by Grimson. Got the puck around. Coffey fires it back in. Happy Bullen knocking that away. This is Turcotte now for Winnipeg. He's got King up to his left, but he's going to lug it out. Doan and King up on the attack with Turcotte. Here's Osgood. 14:58 to go in the first period. 0-0. This is Primo. Offside called on the Red Wings. A spirited start to this one. Winnipeg out shooting Detroit 3-1.
It seems ironic that trucks so diligently engineered to be quiet would have so much volume. Dodge Ram, and Dodge Ram Club Cab, the roomiest pickups on the road. Dodge. Canada's truck stop.
It's as old as the wheel. Man seeks rental cars that are not only nice, but of course nearby. That's why Thrifty made them so handy. With car rentals right at the airport or right in the neighborhood.
And remember, each time you rent from Thrifty Car Rental, you'll earn 500 Canadian Plus points.
Your neighborhood Thrifty Car Rental, historically known for low rates.
Closed captioning this period is brought to you by Thruway Muffler, where top quality muffler suspension and brake service is fully guaranteed. Paul Romanuk with Gary Green at the Winnipeg Arena. Bob McKenzie and Gord Miller back at TSN Hockey Control. A couple of other games going on tonight. And zeros on the board here. This is Ronan up after Coffey to Lidstrom. And Coffey running a little interference there, but the puck comes back to Osgood. Here's Coffey again. This is Lidstrom. Back up to Cicerelli. He has Yzerman coming up through the middle with him, along with Primo. And offside called on Detroit.
Well, Stevie Yzerman, whether he plays center ice or plays left wing, has still got lots to give right now for the Detroit Red Wings. And, you know, I kind of like him in that wing position, and I'm sure that he enjoys playing with Primo as well out there. Once they traded Shepherd, well, that freed up a little bit of extra room, because one thing Scott Bowman has is an abundance of offensive players right now, and he's got extra forwards. A player like Greg Johnson hasn't had the opportunity to play, and in fact, a lot of teams are taking a look at him right now, but having difficulty seeing him except in practice.
Steve in the midst of a 5-game pointless slump. His career high is 6, which he could equal tonight, something I'm sure he'd as soon not do. Here comes Bergevin. McCarty going to the net. Bergevin gets it through. Back in front, Draper with a gift. 1-0 Detroit.
What a nice tic-tac-toe passing pattern. Chris Draper did get a gift, Paul. No question about that.
Nothing but net to shoot at, and he finds it. 1-0 Detroit.
Abby Bullen went way out, guessing that he might be the man, all of a sudden, that was going to have to stop that puck from this angle. Harry just threw that puck across, so read the play perfectly. He saw that Draper was open. Abby Bullen had committed himself, and Harry just went across with a nice pass.
Draper gets the goal. Harry will pick up an assist. And it is 1-0 in favor of Detroit. Mark Bergevin will pick up the other assist.
Bergevin did a great job on that play as well, of standing up on the play, creating the turnover.
This is Kozlov. Gets it up ahead to Fedorov. He's on the move. Shoots one up. Abby Bullen knocks that away. Larionov just back by the circle, and it comes out to him. Back to the line now. Konstantinov shoots right on, and Abby Bullen will hang on to it.
I think Chris Draper knows full well, had he missed that one, he wouldn't have wanted to go back to the bench. Draper, the good checking center iceman for Scott Bowman, also can put the puck in the net, and not just in situations like that. Chris Draper has got such tremendous speed that it makes him a very valuable checker, but a very valuable center iceman, versatile enough because he also can score when given the opportunity.
Well, Detroit's so heavy down the middle, Gary, especially with Larionov coming over. Draper is one of the guys who could maybe suffer in terms of ice time. He played the last game, but he'd been sat out the previous 2. And you wonder how that's going to play itself out.
I was impressed with him last year, though, his ability to come off of the bench and play. He is a feisty guy. He's a great skater, and he keeps that enthusiasm. Will keep him in the league a long time.
Here's Coffey. 13:23 to go, first period. 1-0 Detroit leading the Winnipeg Jets. Draper with his first of the year. Here's Coffey. Primo, Cicerelli, and Yzerman up front for Detroit. Tkachuk almost knocked that down. Here's Darren Quinn, fine rookie defenseman. He'll shoot it in. He's got a pretty heavy shot. Osgood couldn't control it. Tkachuk fires one on goal. That's knocked away. Here's Manson now going back after it. Teemu Selanne up for Tkachuk. Back to Selanne. They work it in. Fetisov knocks that away. Primo gets it up ahead. Cicerelli on the way up. Yzerman is with him. And the puck is dumped in, and Cicerelli, Yzerman, and Primo all peel off back towards the bench while the Jets bring it out. This is Doi. Konstantinov gets it up ahead. Offside. Fedorov was about a half a stride ahead. You're watching Molson NHL Tonight.
As a rule, engines develop good torque only when you push hard on the accelerator. But even at idle speed, a Dodge Magnum V8 can pull not only this loaded Ram 1500, but this loaded 2500 and a loaded 3500 as well. 15 tons. That's because every Ram truck has to pull much more than its own weight, even at idle speed. Dodge, Canada's truck stop.
Imagine adhesives so strong they help hold together 100 tons of soaring transportation. Imagine a fabric so bright it lets you see an accident in time to prevent it. Imagine a single disc so powerful it can store almost everything imaginable and protect it for a lifetime. These products and thousands more that make our lives better exist because the people at 3M imagine.
Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Chrysler Canada. What is a red one?
Is this a riddle?
I don't know. Flip the sign over there, kid. No. We'll never know. Your 15 seconds are up.
Well, there's 5 good ones on the ice right now. 6, I should say, because Chris Osgood, of course, in net tonight.
Fetisov. Lariana back to Fetisov. Here comes Korolev. Solane is drifting towards the net. He was high in the slot. And again, we mentioned it earlier, but watch if it's appropriate. Korolev will be the third man coming in, following up Solane and Tkachuk. Right now, he's right up there, though, along the boards. Korolev going towards the front. They couldn't get the puck to him. Fedorov trying to deke his way in. Kozlov up there with him. And Fetisov cruising back after it. Icing called on the Winnipeg Jets. 11:46 to go in the first period. 1-0 Detroit leading Winnipeg.
Well, Tkachuk can play both center ice. He can play the wing. I think when you look at him right now, the Winnipeg Jets like him right there in the middle. They like him because he's such a big power forward. He's got the abilities offensively. He can do the job defensively. He's tough as nails out there. He really does complement that line, lead the line. Korolev and Solane have proven that they can play and adapt to his style pretty well.
Keith with 15 points in the 6 games he's played. He missed 3 games this year with a groin injury. Bergevin shoots. Heavy bullet, had to stretch a ways, but he got it. King gobbling up the rebound. And Shane Doan is back out there for Winnipeg, number 19, up on the right-hand side. A fine rookie. Great hands. Hasn't found the finishing touch yet at this level, but he's been in the neighborhood. Terry Simpson happy with his progress. And there he is going to the net there. Couldn't quite get his stick on that feed. Doan down in the corner. Newman back at the blue line. Doan trying to bring it out. King going after it. This is Taylor for Detroit. Just throws it across there. Ramsey has to chase it down. Here's Newman. Up to King. Long shot that's steered away. Airy back there to pick it up. Jets make some changes in the go, so a little bit of room for the Red Wings to carry. Here comes McCarty up to the line. Flicks it ahead. Draper up there after it. Airy flies in there as well. Here's Airy right through the traffic and with the puck. Airy coming around, looking, drops it back. McCarty was down there in front and hit his skate. He's got a bit of a battle in the corner on his hands. McCarty trying to hold off a couple of Jets, and finally it's just flicked out there by Mike Eastwood.
I like Detroit's Draper's line out there with McCarty, who can get there. He's a banger and crasher. He complements the other two.
Wilkinson chips at it, but that's picked up. Lidstrom up there with Draper. They crisscross at the line. Draper trying to come through. He lost possession, and Ronan will wheel it back for Winnipeg. Gets it over to Shannon. Steering it down into the corner. Ronan up there after it, trying to bank it across in front. Eastwood couldn't catch up to it. This is Cicerelli for Detroit. He's got Yzerman up to his left. Feeds it up ahead now to Coffey, who has Yzerman with him as they hit the line. Yzerman on the way in. Primo is following up as well. Puck comes in front. Primo couldn't get it. It was just behind him, and the Jets break back. This is Stapleton. Shoots. Steered away by Osgood. Stapleton down in the corner. Gillen in front. Fired that one just wide. Great chance for Randy Gillen. This is Primo on the way back with Yzerman. Yzerman up for Primo. Cicerelli coming over after it now on the left-hand side. Gillen just flicks it out. Constantinov back to pick it up.
That's a couple of times now early in this game that Detroit have been guilty of giving up the puck and leaving it right in the slot.
Here comes Primo up after it. Primo was by himself and was just simply outnumbered. He's at the end of his shift and was a little tired, too. He heads to the bench now.
The Red Wings are still playing well defensively, though, this season. They're third best in the league defensively. They were second best, I believe, last year overall.
Doig gets it up around the boards. Fedorov fires one in. This is Doig. Fetisov will chase it back. And here comes Fetisov up to Larionov. Fedorov is with him. Kozlov is going towards the net, coming in on the left side. Here's Larionov. Look at him, just find room. Drops it down now. Fedorov in front for Kozlov. He was bowled over by Doig. There was no finishing that time. Larionov back for Fedorov. Tkachuk shadowing him. And play is called, a penalty coming up. And it's going to be against the Detroit Red Wings. We'll sort that out for you when we come back.
Today's cars and trucks are more advanced than ever, but there is a price. Their harder working engines can wreak havoc on the motor oil, breaking it down almost immediately. That's why Castrol GTX provides maximum protection against viscosity and thermal breakdown. So use Castrol, or your harder working engine could make things hard on you. Castrol GTX, engineered for greater protection against breakdown.
Look for Castrol GTX at these and other leading outlets.
We've got an update from Reunion Arena in Dallas. Valerie Kamensky of Colorado sees his centering pass go through everybody. Craig Willanen puts in his second of the year from the point. Colorado leads it 1-0.
And the Winnipeg Jets with a chance in the power play here. That's Vyacheslav Kozlov in the box for interference. Little pick play.
Well, I think this year, if this unit stays together, that they'll probably draw some obstruction penalties the way that Detroit's five-man red unit ends up swirling around with the puck. But there you saw that instead it was that five-man unit that ended up getting the penalty. Kozlov getting the penalty for interference, set up a little pick play, and Scott Bowman doesn't like that.
Detroit's power play, 18%. Pardon me, Winnipeg's power play. Detroit's penalty killing has been great. The power play has been another story. Winnipeg, during their road trip, four-game road trip, going 4 for 20 with the man advantage.
Yeah, Terry Simpson isn't pleased with their power play because he said with the men that they've got on it right now, they should be a lot better considering the opportunities they have had. They haven't been burying that puck the way that they should be. So even though they're pretty good in the standing in the NHL for power play, not nearly good enough as far as Simpson is concerned. I think what they're missing here, though, is a key offensive defenseman, someone that can quarterback. Quint's going to be good at that, but he's going to end up having to experience the National Hockey League, make some mistakes, and learn what it's all about before he's really going to be the best. Manson's actually had a pretty good season this year, and Simpson has been real pleased with his play.
Quint clears the puck up. And battles there with Draper. Boy, talk about your coach showing confidence in you. Rookie defenseman, Darren Quint, and he's right out there on the power play.
Simpson's got a couple of rookie defensemen to contend with, and that's not easy to break two young defensemen into a National Hockey League lineup.
Jason Doig and Darren Quint, both young defensemen, 18 and 19 years of age, and Shane Doan's only 19 years of age. This is Quint. Up to Tkachuk. 1:02 left in the power play. Tkachuk and Solane getting up there after it. Here's Korolev. And Coffey comes away. Up for Yzerman. Here's Primo. 44 seconds left in the power play. Winnipeg with the man advantage. Here comes Newman. Turcotte on the way up. Shannon is up in the right-hand side coming in. Eastwood coming down the middle. And Osgood trying to play it away from Eastwood. Here's Wilkinson. Shoots. Tipped in the way through. Newman hustling there to keep it in. 15 seconds left in the power play. Turcotte going after it. And Fedorov beating him to the puck. And the spoils cleared out.
Newman may be one of the more underrated defensemen in the National Hockey League. He's on the second unit, but he doesn't have a great shot. But one thing for sure, he sure is reliable.
Penalized player back on. Turcotte right there in front as teams just came back to even strength, and Turcotte almost stuffed it in behind Osgood.
Good quick hands by Turcotte. That puck, watch it. Eastwood was behind the net, so he just flicked it out, and Turcotte was there, and with equally as quick of hands, Eastwood was able to shovel that puck right towards the net. Osgood was able to be just as quick, though, in making the save.
Turcotte came over in that Nelson-Emerson deal with Hartford, and as I mentioned earlier, last time Winnipeg played Detroit, Darren had a couple of goals.
Turcotte had a pretty reasonably good year last year. In fact, in 47 games, he had 17 goals, 18 assists, and so not bad.
What do you make of that trade? Pretty even up? Manson fires one up, and Osgood will hang on to it.
I think most people would agree with that. Turcotte, I know, is well-liked, and Chris King and Turcotte are very good friends back from their New York Ranger day. That might even have a little bit of influence, but Turcotte a little bit bigger than Emerson as well.
Chris Osgood might have had the easiest shutout of his life the other night. 8 shots on goal from the Calgary Flames. He picked up a shutout against them. Oh, 8 shots. No wonder he's playing again tonight.
He said he'd had 8 shots on him one other game, but that was in preseason against Philadelphia, and he only played 1 period.
Read an interesting quote attributed to Theron Fleury of the Calgary Flames, saying that he played for some bad teams in Moose Jaw during his junior career, but he's never seen spirits as low. King right off the draw. Chris King ties it up for the Jets.
What a good year Chris King is having. He's getting a little bit more ice time with Terry Simpson than he did with John Paddock. Watch right off the draw. Stapleton did an excellent job. He beat not 1 man, but 2 men in getting that puck over to Chris King. If you're Scott Bowman, you're analyzing this one, saying, watch. First of all, he wins the draw. Too many guys were looking to get their stick in the way in the puck, and not enough of them looking to get their body on Stapleton and King. King was left uncovered in front of the net. Chris King, the new captain of the Winnipeg Jets.
Stapleton picks up the assist. King gets the goal, and we are all tied up. Manson gets it up along the boards. Konstantinov couldn't keep it in. And Fetisov back after it. Trying to pull away from Solane. Kachuk was up there as well. Fedorov is way up on the right-hand side as they hit the line, but Konstantinov just wiring that eye-high shot into Happy Bullen.
Chris King got the game winner the other night in the excellently played game by the Winnipeg Jets. 4-1 win over the Vancouver Canucks. Chris King getting that game-winning goal. In fact, I think that's his 3rd game-winning goal that he's got this year already.
9th-year player, and you mentioned the new captain of the Winnipeg Jets. Keith Kachuk was the captain of the team last year. Lost the C as a result of a rather acrimonious contract situation. King, highly respected by his teammates and a great choice for captain. He's a fine leader.
Played 48 games last year, only had 4 goals, 2 assists, so you don't give it to someone based on their points. You give it to someone who has the capabilities of giving leadership on the ice and in the dressing room.
Here's Stapleton. Gets it up in the wing. Shannon going after it. Puck comes up ahead. Eastwood tried to dance his way around Lidstrom, but Lidstrom wasn't dancing. Here's Doy. Right in. Tried to fire it up. Nice block by Eisenman as he dropped down. Doy gets it up. Scramble there at the side. Shannon tried to get it out in front. Cicerelli coming up after it. Numanen got there first. This is Eastwood. Back for Numanen. Ronan couldn't knock the pass down. Lidstrom has it. Primo. Eiserman now gets it across. Here comes Lidstrom. Bit of room. Cicerelli to his right. Dishes off to him. Cicerelli up to Lidstrom. Centers it in front. Bouncing puck. And it bounces up to Numanen, who plays it ahead. This is Eastwood with it. Drops it off. And the Jets just want to make a change. End of a long shift. McKenzie up there after it. Ronan is in front. Gillen coming up as well. This is Randy Gillen trying to center it. Gillen right at the side. Almost pulled it to the backhand. Puck fired up by Shannon. That bounces wide. And Coffey just rattles it around the boards and out.
Good tip by Gillen in front of the net. Good shot by Shannon.
No icing. Shannon gets it up around the boards. Here's Gillen. Long pass up ahead. That's knocked down. Stapleton knocked it down with a high stick. And play whistled down. 4:12 to go in the first period. Shots on goal 13-11 for Detroit. We're tied.
When Subway asked us, Bucky and Vinny, to review their authentic steak and cheese sandwich, we went to the steak and cheese capital of the world, Philadelphia.
Hey, this is where they filmed my favorite movie. How about a great steak and cheese? Hey, Cam, steak and cheese, please.
This is very good, sir.
Like it, huh?
This is the real McCoy. Tender seasoned steak with melted processed cheese all on fresh baked bread.
We have a winner.
Subway, what a sandwich.
From Dallas, the Colorado Avalanche on the power play. Peter Forsberg to Joe Sakic gets his 7th of the year. Sandis Ozolic with an assist has 3 points in 2 games for Colorado.
One the score here. The Winnipeg Jets and the Detroit Red Wings.
Canadian Tire has guaranteed low prices every day on MotoMaster batteries, so you can get one whenever you need one, and you won't get left out in the cold.
4:10 to go in period number 1. And what a stick there. As Stapleton was all of a sudden right in the way of Taylor, and that's going to get a little bit of discussion afterwards.
Hey, Stapleton just cranked him. A good open ice check. A good clean one, too. Sure gave Taylor a jolt. Taylor was just cruising up to the blue line. Stapleton just put a good clean check right into him. Sent him flying.
And Stapleton gives up a couple of inches and a few pounds in that little encounter.
Stapleton was signed as a free agent this past summer after playing last year with the Edmonton Oilers.
Teams all even up. 3:50 to go in the first period. 1-1 Detroit and Winnipeg. And Shannon giving a ball there. Grimson is up there trying to stir things up. And McKenzie right over there. He stepped in to take care of Grimson.
Well, Grimson was obviously out looking for some trouble after the hit by Stapleton, and McKenzie wasn't going to let him go unnoticed.
And there's just no getting loose between these two.
Jim McKenzie was picked up in the waiver gutter, a good one, in October from the New York Islanders. Last year he played in Pittsburgh, and this year, right now, with the Winnipeg Jets, he'll get some marks from Coach Terry Simpson for going over and addressing Mr. Grimson.
And they'll be off offsetting penalties in all likelihood. Next game on Molson NHL tonight, Calgary Flames and the New York Rangers. Calgary 0-7-3, but they have had some hard luck. The 3 ties and 3 of their losses by 1 goal. So it's bad, but maybe not quite that bad. The Rangers 6-3-1 so far this year.
Well, as Pierre Pagé will be telling his players that if you get that first win, get the monkey off your back, get some life and confidence and enthusiasm back within your hockey club, then all of a sudden you might be able to get onto a little bit of a roll. Mind you, this is a team that is hurting, missing Neuendijk, missing Gary Roberts, a couple of very good hockey players not in your lineup. Yzerman and King over for some discussions with Mick Magoo. Everything's coming out in the wash.
2 minutes for a high sticking.
We all even up with 3:40 to go in the first period.
2 minutes for instigating. 5 minutes
offsetting 5-minute fighting majors and 2-minute minors.
Oh, but there's an instigating penalty here.
2 minutes for high sticking and 5 minutes for fighting. The Jets McKenzie.
And McKenzie picks up the instigator penalty.
And a game misconduct at 16:20.
So he is finished for the night.
Well, there wasn't much doubt about the fact that McKenzie did go looking for Grimson, but Grimson had been out there looking for someone else. Anybody would have done.
Well, he was in the vicinity of Shannon, and it was McKenzie who sort of came over, not to the rescue, but to sort of step in there and make sure that it was he who was having to be dealt with.
It was all based on payback as far as Grimson was concerned.
Here's Lidstrom. Doig hustling up there, Yzerman after him, but Doig gets there first. Icing called in Detroit.
We talked about the 2 young defensemen that Terry Simpson is breaking in on the blue line. Doig's the big bruiser, 6'3", 216 pounds. He was their 3rd pick in the June draft. He scored his first NHL game though this season for Dallas. In the game against Dallas last year, the Laval Titans, he had 13 goals, 42 assists. 259 penalty minutes in just 55 games.
Jason, 18 years old, a long way from home, and he was one of the French-Canadian players talking this morning after practice, his concern about the referendum being held. He was talking to his parents on the phone, and it's really occupied his thoughts the last few days. Here's Primo going after it. Lidstrom gets it up ahead. Cicerelli will flip it out. Doig back after it. Primo teeing him up and steps into him. Eastwood up to Shannon. Eastwood coming up after him, but it took a funny bounce there off the boards and off the side of the net. And Coffey back behind the play takes exception there. He is involved with Darren Shannon.
Shannon took Coffey out of the play, I thought rather cleanly. Coffey retaliated. And that's what Coffey's being penalized for, I think, right now.
Well, clearly Coffey taking exception to the hit.
Shannon rang Coffey's bell pretty good. You saw what Coffey did then in return, and Mick Magoo was standing at the perfect angle to see it all. Coffey didn't stop at that. He decided he'd just keep giving Shannon a rough going over.
This guy's going to the Hall of Fame. You can't do that to him.
Well, Shannon just did.
So Coffey picks up a roughing penalty and an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. So the double minor to Paul Coffey. And power play time for the Winnipeg Jets.
See if Kachuk's line can take advantage of this.
Kachuk, Korolev, and Solane up front. 24 points in the last 3 games this line has generated. Here's Tkachuk. Gets it back. Quint over to Manson. Shoots. Osgood stopped it. It bounced behind him, but he was able to snap it up again. 3:29 to go on the power play for Winnipeg.
Well, we all know that Tkachuk took an awful lot of heat early this season because, one, well, he didn't want to play in Winnipeg. He had said that he wanted to be traded, but he got his big contract because Winnipeg Jets had to match it. Here you see Manson's shot from the point that almost fooled Osgood. But you know, that contract that Tkachuk got, that was just part of the system. I mean, he didn't do anything wrong. He didn't pay himself. He ended up benefiting from it in a very large way. But boy, this guy is a good young hockey player at 23 years of age. He's a franchise player.
Oh, you're absolutely right. It was the NHL owners shooting themselves in the foot. Solane back to Quint. Manson wires one in off the glass. Here's Quint. Shoots it up there. Nice low shot that time. Unlike Manson's, which was a little bit higher. Here's Primo. Being kind.
No forward would want to go back in front of the net with a shot like Manson just took. Ring one off of a guy's bonnet.
Here's Manson. Over to Tkachuk. 2:49 to go in the 4-minute power play for the Winnipeg Jets. Fedorov broke his stick and wouldn't have broken a pane of glass with the shot as a result. This is Quint. Solane up to his left. Tkachuk leading him. And there's that wild bounce. That's twice we've seen that in this period. The puck coming off the boards or the glass down in that corner. Larionov takes the drop pass. Waiting. Tried to roll it across in front. It's knocked down. And Larionov is tackled into the boards by Tkachuk, and he's going to head to the box.
That's too bad because the Jets had a 3-on-1 opportunity. And instead they end up taking a penalty. The leader of that line was the man guilty of it. Tkachuk took Larionov out right here and then pinned him down. Meanwhile, his teammates had screamed up the ice with a glorious opportunity. Tkachuk was charged with interference.
So the team's back at even strength for the next 2 minutes, and then Winnipeg will have 11 seconds left over on a 4-minute power play.
Hey, Paul, what do you think of this stick of Larionov?
Well, I looked at it this morning. I was standing there looking at the stick rack. That is a one-piece stick, totally composite, one piece. Costs $150. He goes through about 3 of them a year.
Well, for guys that don't like working on their sticks, shaving them down, getting the old torch out, then it's kind of a perfect stick. It's not, well, as you see, there's not much of a curve in that stick because Larionov, of course, is known for his great passing skills, and that's what he is on this line, a playmaker.
Pick the stick up. It is feather light. It's made by a company in Switzerland, Bush. And Larionov, one of about 3 or 4 guys in the league using the stick.
Don't think you'll see a lot of minor hockey parents out there picking one of these up for Christmas. Not at $150 a stick.
Here comes Wilkinson. 35 seconds to go in period number 1. And we are all tied up at 1. This is Shannon. Fedorov almost got around him. Konstantinov back to pick it up. Here comes Fetisov. Team's playing 4-on-4. Fedorov stopped there at the line by Shannon. Now here comes Draper cutting across. Draper, 7 seconds to go. Shoots, just rolled it wide. And Shannon tips it up ahead. Here comes Eastwood after it. And time will run out in period number 1. Teams will continue to play 4-on-4 when the second period starts.
Good period. Back and forth. A lot of turnovers. And 2 teams that can skate and control the puck offensively.
Draper scoring for Detroit. King for Winnipeg. We are all tied at 1 after 1.
Welcome to McDonald's First Intermission, brought to you by your local McDonald's restaurants. Now, here are your hosts, Gord Miller and Bob McKenzie.
Welcome back, and we're talking about young guys in the National Hockey League. We were during the first period. Look at the Jets. Darren Quint, Shane Doan, and Jason Doig, all three guys junior-age players and playing more than 10 games. Significant game tonight for Jason Doig, playing in his 10th game. It means for the purposes of waiver drafts, free agency qualifications, he's effectively played a professional season now in the eyes of the NHL. So chances of any of these juniors being sent back this season are now probably slim and none. They've all been billeted with families in the Winnipeg area. And speaking of good young players, Teemu Selanne was certainly one of them. Teemu Selanne, now a grizzled veteran in the NHL, will join us as our guest when our McDonald's First Intermission continues in just a moment.
When they were small, we had a little sports car.
And then they got bigger, so we had to get a four-door.
So we leased a new Volkswagen Jetta, $299 a month. Nice, huh? German-engineered front-wheel drive Jetta comes with rack and pinion steering, daytime running lights, dual airbags. It's a great driving car.
It's got a big back seat.
And a huge trunk.
Weimaraners come from Germany.
Maybe that's why I like driving so much.
On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers.
You know, when you have something special, you don't just throw it away. Of course, years ago, we thought we could throw away anything. Just use it and trash it. Well, we're all a little smarter now. Instead of those one-shot batteries, I use renewal from Railback. Advanced alkaline power. You don't just trash them after one shot. You renew them, and they come back strong. They say the world throws out 20 billion batteries a year. We can do a lot better. Play it smart. Railback Renewal.
McCain has tasty pizza snacks. They call them pizza pockets. McCain! Pizza pockets. The great pizza taste will keep you coming back. McCain! Pizza pockets.
Pizza perfection in a crust that's baked, not fried. So there's no leaks, no mess. Just taste. All taste and nothing but
McCain! Pizza pockets.
No leaks, no mess. Just pizza perfection.
History teaches primordial perspiration shouldn't mess with one's style. Thus, Right Guard, Pure Power, Clear Gel, Antiperspirant. It's clear without flaky white stuff. Right Guard, Clear Gel. Anything less would be uncivilized.
Welcome back to our McDonald's First Intermission, joined now by the man who lit it up as a rookie, 76 goals for Teemu Selanne, and now once again on fire as a member of the Winnipeg Jets, the highest scoring team in the NHL. Teemu, can you guys keep playing like this all year, allowing so many goals but scoring just a few more?
Well, I hope so, and I'm very happy that we have scored so many goals, and especially when we don't have Alex Shamnov in our lineup, and when he comes back, for sure we're going to score more goals, but our problem so far has been that we give so many goals. Like so many goals against, so we have to shut down those, and then we start to win more hockey games.
Teemu, you're off to a good start, 14 points, but only 4 of them are goals. Normally you have as many goals as assists, if not more. How would you evaluate your play so far?
Well, I had a little bit of a slow start, but now I think I'm playing better, and we have 2 great guys in the same line, and Igor Korolev is very hot right now. He's playing great hockey, and same Keith, he's just dynamite right now, and hopefully we can keep playing same level, and for sure that way we can help the team to win.
Teemu, when was the last time you saw that many Russians wearing red? Had to be back in Helsinki, eh?
Well, that's a few years ago when I played in Finland, and it's a little bit different situation now, and they hold the puck all the time, so we really have to work hard if we want to get that puck there. So.
Teemu, people talk about coming back from difficult injuries in the National Hockey League. Certainly a torn knee ligament, the ACL is tough, but most people think the Achilles is the toughest. How has it been for you?
Well, that time it was tough. It took about 6 months, but right now it's 100%. I'm very happy that I can play. And last season I had a little bit of problem with my knees, and they are pretty good now. So I'm really happy and look forward to play well this season.
Hey, well, thanks very much. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Teemu Selanne of the Winnipeg Jets, who just continue to score along, although only 1 goal there in the first period. They're hitting a drought all of a sudden. Speaking of high scoring, Colorado and Dallas are hooking up in a high scoring tilt at Reunion Arena. We'll take you there when we come back.
And welcome back to the McDonald's Cup. As the Muppets take the ice, the All-Stars are way ahead.
Oh, no, the door's jammed.
Man, they just scored again.
What can we do?
Play NHL Muppet Mania at McDonald's today, and you could win great prizes, like one of 50 all-new 1996 Ford Taurus or Mercury Sable vehicles, Bauer inline skates, Nestle Crunch Bars, or $100,000 cash instantly.
No more Miss Nice Pig. Give me a boost. Here we go. Watch it, sorry. Come on.
Play NHL Muppet Mania at McDonald's today.
Drops it in, and the game is underway. Saved by Burnett.
Great game, huh? Oh, yeah, but listen, I can't talk to you, okay, because I don't want to miss anything. Or did you hand me my soda, please? Yeah.
It's deflected to the ground for another great souvenir.
That was my puck. That was my puck.
Cool game, huh?
Yeah, the coolest game on earth. No. No. Did you plan this?
When you drive your Chrysler vehicle out of the dealership, you quickly discover that it's a cruel world outside. But the best way to protect your investment is to bring it back to your Chrysler dealer for regular maintenance. For advanced computerized diagnostic systems, for genuine Mopar parts, and for Chrysler trained technicians. Chrysler 5-star service keeps your car running like new, because nobody knows your Chrysler like your Chrysler dealer.
Trip, son. How about throwing me a cold one?
Just like old times, huh, Dad?
Just like the old days. This isn't a Pepsi.
I know. I saved 9 cents.
Unbelievable. Kid saved a lousy 9 cents.
Welcome back to our McDonald's first intermission. Colorado at Dallas tonight. Dallas quietly playing well, and Colorado making plenty of noise off and on the ice. 2 big deals this year, of course. And then, of course, they have played pretty well this year with the guys they have left. Joe Sakic has been dynamite for Colorado. Mike Modano is back. After the torn ankle ligaments of a year ago, he is everything they expected him to be, and then some. Hooking up tonight in Big D, and here's what's happened so far. Colorado has really taken it to Dallas thus far. 10-4 the shots on goal, and they lead 2-0 thanks to Joe Sakic.
Joe Sakic with his 7th goal. Darcy Wakaluk very strong in the Dallas net. If not for him in the first period, the score would be a lot higher.
Sandis Ozolish, by the way, has 3 points in just under 2 games so far for Colorado. Describing the action, John Kelly and Peter McNabb.
Here's a guy that, even got the game-winning goal last game. He knows himself well enough that he's not quite where he wants to be. The timing's not there, so he just takes that extra time to work on what he does well, and that's shoot the puck. And we welcome all the viewers in Canada watching on TSN. The Avalanche lead at 2-0. Craig Willian scored at 1:12, and Joe Sakic a power play goal at 13-14. And the Avalanche have outshot the Stars 10-4. There's the Stars, Gagne. Tried to send in Donnelly, broken up by the rookie Stefan Yell, and he'll work it down the ice. Dallas is back at full strength, so they have a power play for the next 50 seconds. A dozen seconds left here in the first period. Kevin Hatcher gains the zone. Backhander never got through. Now Gagne, time running out here. Looks to center, he does. Platt in front was tripped up, and that will do it. Platt was open, but was tripped up, and the first period comes to an end. Well, maybe the best period of hockey this season, certainly on the road, for the Colorado Avalanche. They were dominant, they were skating, they were hitting. This man right here, Craig Willian, got them started early with a goal, but all through that first period, they were the better club. The shot's 10-4. Favorite.
Can't believe they have a foot on their uniform, but anyway, that's beside the point. Colorado is a team that has traded Wendell Clark, has traded Owen Nolan. I mean, this team is basically making it up as it goes along and still playing pretty well.
They're 6-3-1, and they haven't got any chemistry going for them. They still don't have any set lines. They don't know who's playing with who right now. They're trying to get some chemistry going, and when they do, they're going to run away, certainly with the Pacific Division. Coming into this season, I thought maybe the Vancouver Canucks might have enough to eclipse Colorado, but Pierre Lacroix has gone out and got what he needed. The quarterback on the power play, Sandis Ozolinsh, now 3 points in less than 2 games. They're making all the moves that they need to make and patching the holes. They're going to be a force.
This is a team a lot of people thought might go in the tank with the loss of Uwe Krupp, who really was their best stay-at-home defenseman. Now, though, with Ozolinsh, they really pressed the attack forward, and we've seen it so far in the first period against Dallas. We'll have more on our McDonald's First Intermission when the NHL Tonight continues in just a moment.
Think traction control. Think shock absorbers. Think air conditioning. Think stainless steel emission system. Whatever you buy, think to use your GM Visa card. You won't pay an annual fee, and you will earn 5% of everything you spend towards a new GM car or truck. Cup holders? Now you're thinking.
This is it for the game.
Rob Clark, this is your Right Guard Sports Moment.
No matter how hard you push it, you don't have to sweat it. Not with the long-lasting protection of Right Guard Sports Stick. Even under the most grueling conditions, Right Guard Sports Stick works to keep you dry, confident, and odor-free. The continuous action formula of Right Guard Sports Stick.
Rob? Come on, we're late.
Right Guard Sports Stick, right there when you need it.
Advil, for today's tough pain, presents Profiles of Courage. In 1987, Calgary Flames defenseman Jamie McCown was involved in a serious car accident that nearly cost him his life. He was pinned underneath the wreckage of his car and suffered a broken arm and internal injuries. McCown recovered from his serious injuries and went on to anchor the Flames' blue line as they won the 1989 Stanley Cup. This Profile of Courage was brought to you by Advil, for today's tough pain.
There's a fundamental truth about doing business. The happier your customers are, the more business you'll get. That's why Canadian Airlines introduces Club Empress, a new standard of business class. Because we think when you arrive prepared and rested, it can work for both of us. If you're going far away on business, we assure you that this is where Club Empress goes.
An update on the referendum in Quebec. Yes, with a narrow lead, 50.2% to 49.8%, just coming up on 2/3 of the votes that have been tallied. Now, obviously, you have to be very careful before you go diving into these icy waters, but the Quebec referendum will have an impact on the National Hockey League.
Well, potentially, yes. Obviously, one way or the other, there's going to be... Let's look at it on 3 levels, really. Number one is, if there's an economic fallout, a negative economic fallout, and the dollar drops, then the cost of doing business for every National Hockey League team in Canada goes up, and that makes it more difficult for them to be competitive with the U.S. counterparts. Number two would be just on the pure emotional level. There's a lot of Francophone hockey players playing all through the National Hockey League. How are they going to feel about the results? And also the other Canadian players, how will they feel? And on the third level, international competition down the road, does Quebec end up with its own entry, or does Canada continue to have Quebecois? Those are all things that we'll find out in the wash. I guess far more important in the long term than right now.
That's right, and we can tell you the yes has just taken the lead with 65% of the votes counted. We'll be back with more on the NHL tonight, our second period between Winnipeg and Detroit, coming up.
McDonald's First Intermission has been brought to you by your local McDonald's restaurants.
In a clinic like this, I can't stop for a headache. The doctor here told me about Advil. It's tough on pain, and it really works fast. In fact, 1 Advil is as effective as 2 regular-strength Tylenol. And for cold and sinus congestion, there's Advil Cold and Sinus. It's tough on colds, like Advil is on pain. And now it's available without a prescription.
Advil and Advil Cold and Sinus. Tough on pain, tough on cold congestion.
When you drive your Jeep out of the dealership, you quickly discover that it's engineered for the cruel world outside. But the best way to protect your investment is to bring it back to your Jeep Eagle dealer for regular maintenance. For advanced computerized diagnostic systems, for genuine Mopar parts, and for Chrysler-trained technicians that know your Jeep best. Chrysler 5-star service keeps your Jeep on or off the road, because nobody knows your Jeep like your Jeep Eagle dealer.
On a night when the referendum is turning out to be a dead heat, it's even after one period at the arena in Winnipeg. Here's what's happened so far in the hockey game. Chris Draper with a gift at 5:46. The Jets giveaway resulted in his first goal of the year to make it 1-0 Wings, but then back came the Jets' Chris King, the captain, with his fourth of the year at 13:47.
Mike Stapleton picks up the assist and a nice hit by Mike Stapleton. Boy, did he put Tim Taylor down in that first period.
Jets were 0 for 2 on the power play, and they're struggling with the man advantage. Shots on goal, 13 apiece.
Out of those 13 shots, the Russian unit had 7 of those 13, and Konstantinov had 3 shots on net. Konstantinov, the bull, back on the blue line, teamed up with Fetisov.
And Larionov on a couple of occasions up in the offensive zone. One of those guys, no matter how much room he has, how little room he has, he can just dip and dive and slide around and somehow get the puck loose.
Coffey still with 1 minute and 4 seconds remaining in his penalty. Tkachuk with 53 seconds in his.
Here comes Newman. Doan is out in the slot. They'll just clear the puck up. Shane Doan up there after it, number 19 for Winnipeg. This is Fetisov. Doan knocking his man to the ice back behind the play.
I like seeing Doan do that, Paul.
And then he bumps again with Konstantinov out by the blue line. And here comes Larionov on the way up. Drops it back. Fedorov shoots. That one knocked away by Happy Bulin. Puck back to Fetisov. Throws it over to Bergevin. He'll move up, move in, and try to slide it across. Nice play by Happy Bulin to cut off that pass.
Hey, and then Happy Bulin pushed that puck all the way out of trouble. All the way down to Osgood, in fact.
And now a brief power play for Winnipeg. 10 seconds to go. Solane up after it. Korolev up there with him. Here's Korolev. Gets it in front. Scores! Mike Stapleton. Stapleton puts the Jets up 2-1.
Korolev did the work behind the net. He ended up taking a look, and who did he find but Stapleton? Just a nice little pass by Korolev. Stapleton waltzed right into the slot and got that good shot away, top shelf. Stapleton's had a great game so far. Good body check. And offensively, he's sharp.
Picked up an assist in the first period on King's goal, and he scores one there. With a sniper-like shot up in behind Chris Osgood. Funny, Korolev first got it up there, and the Jets were in the midst of a line change, and he looked out in front, and there was nobody there. Nobody to pass it to. And then all of a sudden, Stapleton came streaking in.
The scary thing is how much time he had, actually, to take a look. Korolev had the puck, it seemed, forever.
And here comes Coffey. Yzerman after it. Drops it back out. Primo chips it in on goal. Happy Bulin steers that one away. Cicerelli up looking for it. Lidstrom against Shannon along the boards. And Paul Coffey over to pick it up. Coffey assessed a double minor late in the first period. Primo up after it. And this is Lidstrom. Jets on a change. We played 2 minutes of the second period. 2-1. Winnipeg leading the Detroit Red Wings. Winnipeg just back from its longest road trip of the year. 4 games over 10 days. And came back with a couple of wins, a couple of losses. Here's Solane moving up after it. Tkachuk up there along the boards. Here's Solane. Tkachuk was in front, couldn't get it to him. They'll both continue the chase. Korolev hanging back in the slot. This is Draper. Dishes out to Cicerelli. And Dino Cicerelli just clears it in and heads to the bench. Draper's up there looking for it. A little reconnaissance up in the offensive zone. Airy there to help him out, but it's knocked away. Here's Bergevin. Up to Airy.
Jets were changing on the go. Solani and Manson ended up colliding. Solani was lucky the Jets didn't get caught for too many men on the ice. He was slow then getting to the bench.
Doan was popped there at center by McCarty. As McCarty cut the rookie with his head down. And now Doan is popped again by McCarty. Doan was looking for a little payback, and McCarty saw it coming and just stiffed him.
Yeah, I think with his left elbow, though.
Turcotte chops at it. Here's Ramsey. Talking to Shane Doan before the game, he said, I haven't been hit that hard yet. Well, guess what? We'll be right back.
There are those who say they will get around to it and those who actually do. If you'd rather put things up than put them off, try VersaPack, a new rechargeable battery system that powers a whole range of cordless tools. Black & Decker, it's how things get done. Life is full of obstacles. We suggest you cut right through them. Introducing the VersaPack cordless multi-purpose saw from Black & Decker. It's how things get done.
When Car Guide magazine was determining the best value among economy cars, one really rose to the occasion. A car standardly equipped with a Bosch engine management system, four-wheel fully independent suspension, front and rear crumple zones, and a one-piece side body panel, just like Mercedes. Rising above the rest is Car Guide's best value among economy cars. The 96 Accent from Hyundai, a tough car to beat.
I don't know how suspicious Shane Doan is, but if he is, I apologize completely and unreservedly. We were talking before the game. I said, have you been hit real hard yet? He said, no, not yet.
But he said, I'm sure I will, though. Well, 2 in 1 shift. But hey, he's a good, tough kid. 65 horses they have on their farm, and he bricks some of those horses in the summers.
Yeah, a lot of his family involved in the rodeo. Fedorov trying to fire it in on goal. Was he great last year during the Memorial Cup or what?
MVP.
Here comes Solane after it. And he runs out of real estate there. The puck getting to Osgood before Solane could catch it.
Interesting, Solane, when he was talking to Bob and Gord in the intermission, talking about not having the goals going in for him right now, but he's feeling better. I think it took him all last year to start feeling better. I know he spent a lot of time before on game days in the hyperbaric chamber trying to feel better. But that whole line is feeling pretty good right now. Solane's an important part of it, but has the least goals of all three.
Since his great rookie season, though, Gary, Timo averaging about a goal every second game rather than a goal per game, which was pretty close to what his average was in that rookie season. A goal every second game, is that enough? I don't think it is from him.
A lot of people question whether Solane would be with this team this year.
Here's Kozlov, shoots, gets wide, rebound, scores! Fedorov!
He can pick a fly out of a net, can he? Not from a very good angle, but Fedorov was able to find lots of room. Khabibulin was down flat.
And we are all tied up. Look at the angle Fedorov ends up scoring from, though.
Fedorov's going to your right now. Now watch this. He picks up the rebound. He's from a terrible angle. In fact, Manson's got to be wondering, how did he do that? How did he score from this angle? Watch it from this angle. Well, it doesn't look quite as hard from that angle as it did for you and I up here, Paul. But even still, you've got to be a sharpshooter to do it. Especially when you're coming in. You're a little off balance. He was on his forehand side. That was his advantage. Thought he was a little deeper, though, than he actually was on that last replay.
Eastwood out in front. He couldn't come up with it. So we're all tied up. Fedorov gets the goal. Larionov and Kozlov pick up the assists.
Maybe the question more so, instead of from Manson, as to how did he score from that angle, so why didn't I have him?
Here comes Yzerman. Drops it off to Primo. Here's Primo in front. Cicerelli couldn't wrap that one up. And Doan going back after it. He and Coffey in a race, and you know who was going to win that one. Here's Yzerman. Turcotte lets it go back for Newman. has to lunge at it. Cicerelli pressuring him. King back there to help out. Here comes King. Doan is with him. Turcotte up there too. King tried to send it around for Turcotte. He was scurrying the other way and couldn't catch up by the time he turned around. And Wilkinson back to touch it. Icing called in Detroit. 14:41 to go in the second period. Winnipeg and Detroit all tied at 2.
Wilkinson hasn't exactly had a great start this season. And what Terry Simpson needs right now is, in fact, some good solid play from his veterans like Wilkinson.
Wilkinson very steady back at the blue line, but Gary, you touch on the big point with the Winnipeg Jets, and they have a ton of guys who are stay-at-home defensemen, steady back at the blue line, but really nobody to come in and offer that second wave of offense.
There's a few of them. You talk about stay-at-home, there's a few of them that I think some nights Terry Simpson probably wish they did stay at home, Paul. Some of them haven't played that well, but Manson has started to play well this year, and of course, Terry Simpson, as do the Jets organization, really like Tefo Numminen, but Shannon and Wilkinson have got to step up their game this season.
There's Ramsey after it. Ricochets it off the boards. Taylor couldn't get it out. Gillen firing that one in, and Osgood decides to hang on. Gillen had a good chance back in the first period. Coming in off a line change, got to fire a good shot on goal from the slot.
Gillen came across a year ago from the Florida Panthers for Stu Barnes. Stu Barnes has been pretty hot for the Panthers. In fact, he's their second leading scorer. But what the Jets were looking for from Gillen was an experienced center iceman that could win faceoffs, be a gritty guy.
An especially poignant year for Randy Gillen. He's a Winnipeg kid. He grew up in the city. Bobby Hull was his big hockey hero. He used to come down and watch the old Winnipeg Jets play. And, of course, this is the Jets' final year in the city. Wilkinson shoots one up. Osgood will dish it off there to Taylor. Stapleton, a goal and an assist tonight. Looking hot for Winnipeg. Osgood over to Ramsey. Gillen up after him. Stapleton up to help out. Ronan hanging back in the slot. Ramsey just glubs it ahead there to Bergevin. Back to Ramsey. Tried to get it up ahead for Grimson. He was tied up. LaPointe trying to jab it loose, and finally they tie it up there. Missed a bit of a scrum along the boards. 13:55 to go in the second period. 2-2 hockey game.
You talk about the fact that the Winnipeg Jets, especially Randy Gillen from Winnipeg, tough year for him right now. But for Terry Simpson and the Winnipeg Jets players, it's probably an easier year right now than they had last year when there was so much uncertainty. Are they here? Are they not here? This year they knew for a fact that they were not going to be here a year from now. And I think that has been so much easier on the players. The intangibles are very difficult to measure. Whenever you talk about teams and how much it upsets players when they find out that they have to leave, or they are going, or they are being traded, it definitely does affect the team.
Oh, you're right. I guess it probably is, from that standpoint, much easier on them. But it's a really strange situation because this used to be such a great hockey town. Tonight, the building is half empty. Here comes Kozlov. Shoots. Heavy Bullen. Nice stuff. And he'll hang on to it.
Real good glove save by Javi Bullen. Kozlov came in on that left wing angle, and he knew where he wanted to put it. Watch Kozlov come. There he knows that he's going to go glove side, and he's going to try to go low. Javi Bullen had the glove out, and he just very quickly snagged that puck.
And there is the Red Army line, the green line, the red line, whatever you want to call it. It's a successful line. Here's Fetisov, and a penalty coming up. It'll be a tripping call. And it's going to go against the Red Wings. So Winnipeg coming up with a power play as Kozlov will have a seat.
Juk's line has just been out there. They'll probably stay out. Watch on Solani. Solani goes down. Kozlov goes off.
The strike number 13 of
Kozlov, another one of those small forwards on the Detroit Red Wings we were talking about.
Kozlov has some exceptional speed, though, and boy, can he light it up. He was only 7th on their team in scoring last year, but had a big playoff. 9 goals, 7 assists in 18 games.
Jets 0 for 3 in the power play.
And only 1 shot.
Here's Manson. Solane, Kachuk, and Korolev up front for Winnipeg. And Manson is back at the point, at least to start things off, with the rookie Darren Quint. What offense the Jets have generated on their power play. Coming from those who you would expect it from. Keith Kachuk, Korolev, Solane, the big line. Teppo Numminen, you think of him more as a defensive defenseman, but there he is with 4 points. And for my money, maybe the most underrated defenseman in the National Hockey League. He's not even on the All-Star ballot, which is ridiculous. And he is so consistent night after night.
Very solid defenseman. He has been for years here with this Winnipeg Jets organization. A big man, a reliable man that can do the job for them and does it consistently night after night. But he's not a great power play man.
Played 35 minutes in the game the other night in Vancouver. Here's Kachuk. Manson, long pass up to Solane. He and Bergevin closing in on this one. Bergevin trying to tie him up. Ramsey back there. Korolev trying to get it loose. And they tied up with 1:20 to go on the power play for Winnipeg.
Terry Simpson could go with a forward on the point on the power play, he said, but he's got some to choose from, of course, and once Jamnov comes back, he's got even more choice. But the problem that then results in most coaches don't like, and that is when teams challenging as much killing penalties as they do right now in the league, then it puts a lot of pressure on that forward who is not used to the defensive part of the game. Not from a defenseman's position anyway. And some of the forwards, the way that they played for the Winnipeg Jets defensively, aren't too used to defense, period.
Got to sense that from Terry Simpson talking to him before the game.
The players know it. It's trying to get it across.
Manson with a hot shot. Osgood backs that one away. Here's Kachuk. Back out for Manson. Works it down. Solane is there in front trying to get loose. Manson moves up, shoots. Rebound. Kachuk is right there. And it's knocked away. Osgood was down in the ice, but not out of the play. 55 seconds to go on the man advantage for Winnipeg.
Of course, on the power play, getting some shots is very key, and at least now the Jets getting some.
This is Manson. Stapleton. A couple of points tonight. Gets it up ahead to Korolev. He'll clear it in. Kachuk up there looking for it. Osgood keeps it alive. Primo right along the boards and down the ice with 30 seconds now to go on the man advantage for the Jets. Time for one more rush as they'll set things up. 11:45 to go in the second period. 2-2 hockey game. This is Stapleton firing it in. Eastwood, Doan, and Turcotte all converging on it. And the puck bounces by Stapleton and down the ice. 15 seconds left in the power play. And Taylor up there messing things about in the corner. They finally get it away. Turcotte trying to start off, and Taylor, great work up there for the Red Wings, shorthanded. McCarty up to help him out. Penalized player is back on. The team's at even strength, and the Jets carry it up. Stapleton clears it in. 3 shots on goal during that power play for Winnipeg. Here's Wilkinson. Up there for Doan. Eastwood back in the net, looking in front. He had Gillen moving up there, and Osgood will hang on. Quick whistle, the puck squirted loose. However, obviously the referee had lost sight of it. You're watching Molson NHL tonight on TSN.
Although man is composed of over 90% water, he doesn't have to feel wet. For effective, long-lasting protection against wetness and odor, use Arid Extra Dry Antiperspirant for Men. Dryness designed for men.
It's the Loop. Tune in at 6. Tune in at 10 after 8. Or 7:14:30. That's TV Talk. Scores, highlights. You get Landsberg, you get Connor, could be somebody else. 3 hours continuous. The Sports Desk Morning Loop will be on from 6 until 9. Sports Desk. You stole the whole thing. No, I didn't.
Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Black & Decker. It's how things get done. Shane Doan looking pretty good tonight for the Winnipeg Jets. A couple of good scoring chances, mixing it up. He's been hit. He's dished out a couple. And he says right now he's just looking to try to find the hands that he had in junior up at this level.
Yes and no. I mean, yes, it feels good to be out there and that I'm almost there, but know that I can't score. I mean, I've hit some posts. I've deflected shots that should have went in, but they somehow stay out. I've taken shots that should have went in, and it's like I'm almost jinxed, but it's frustrating.
He's also learned that the tempo in the National Hockey League is tough to adjust to as well. He was talking about the great speed out there. Speed between, well, offense to defense, defense to offense. Fedorov just got tripped up, and I think Shannon's probably getting a penalty.
And that is exactly what's going to happen. Fedorov may have embellished somewhat. We'll see if the replay bears that out.
You can see that Fedorov reached in order to get that puck, so he sent it behind Shannon, and Shannon knew he was caught up. A little tug from behind, might have been a dive on Fedorov's part. On the other hand, he was off balance. Just that little nudge sent him all the way.
Well, I hesitated for a second because remember the game we did earlier this year in Vancouver, Gary, when Paul Stewart called a couple of diving penalties?
In Denver.
Or in Denver, pardon me. Denver, Vancouver, a city you can see mountains, whatever.
Well, it was against Detroit in both games.
1 for 24 in the power play, the Red Wings.
Oh, that's ugly. Very difficult to find an excuse for the Detroit Red Wings when they're 1 for 24 in the power play.
Well, Paul Coffey says that teams are much more aggressive in the penalty kill now, and that's one reason why you see a statistic like that. Used to be when he first came into the league, yeah, he had a couple of teams that were aggressive, but now everybody is.
Yeah, a lot of teams played a very disciplined, tight box before, and now they realize that with the offensive geniuses that we've got in the league, that you just can't allow them to have too much time to move. You got to get on them quickly. Press the box.
1:20 to go in the power play. Red Wings with the man advantage. King trying to get it out, gets a little bit of help from Newman, who gets it down the ice.
And that's what the Winnipeg Jets are trying to do. They're trying to be aggressive, but they're also trying to get their defensemen to stand up in the neutral zone. We'll see if they do it here.
Here comes Kozlov. Fedorov is with him as they hit the line. Puck cleared in. Gillen gets it up around the boards and out.
See, just by standing up the way that the defense did for the Jets, it forced the Red Wings to dump the puck in, and then it's a little bit easier to get quick possession of it.
Here comes Paul Coffey. Gets it up ahead to Cicerelli. Yzerman up there. Primo as well. Yzerman looking for it in the corner. Around to Coffey. Coffey works it up. Yzerman. Look at Cicerelli right in front with a great tip. And a nice stop by Happy Bullen. But there was Cicerelli with those soft hands right in the doorstep, and he almost knocked it in.
Cicerelli's one of the best in the National Hockey League at tipping that puck in front of the net. He's not afraid to stand there. He pays the price for it, but he's got great hand-eye coordination. Look at that. He just pulled that puck right out of the air, deflected it, and Happy Bullen, good thing he had his body in front of it. Dino Cicerelli with the good, quick hands.
Over 1,000 games, over 500 goals. A great sniper.
Beat up a lot in front of the net, but he's always got his nose there.
Yzerman, Cicerelli, and Primo up on the face-off. 36 seconds to go on the power play for Detroit. We are all tied up just past the halfway point here at the Winnipeg Arena. The Jets and the Red Wings. And Stapleton clears it in for Winnipeg. Here's Coffey. Lidstrom on the way up to Primo. Hits the line with Cicerelli. Yzerman going towards the net, but the pocket was picked by Shannon. He got it out. This is Coffey. Throws it across. Cicerelli tried to bounce it up there for Yzerman coming in. Primo goes after it. And the Jets solid on the penalty kill. Shannon steps out. The team's at even strength. Detroit 0 for 2 on the power play tonight. They only had one shot on goal there during that man advantage. Lidstrom works it up. Darren Quint back to pick it up. 8:23 to go, second period. Solane with a burst of speed, trying to get there. Bergevin got there first. Back at the line, Manson keeps it in, shoots. Fires that one off the glass. Rebound right in front, bouncing around, and Taylor will corral it. Up ahead to Lapointe, swinging it over the blue line. Grimson is up there with him. Lapointe is tackled, but here's Grimson. Looking around, Taylor is in front. Grimson still with it. Gets it back to Ramsey. Ready, set with a shot. That's knocked away. Kachuk going after it, and he'll come away. Korolev up to the line. Solane with him. Puck bouncing around. Lidstrom. Solane tipped that one. Osgood knocked it away. Rebound flicked wide by Korolev. Kachuk couldn't get it in front. Here's Quint. Fires it. That was blocked on the way through. He reloads. Scores! Solane! Solane with the tip, and the Jets with the lead.
Watch this play by Quinn. He holds the puck in. Now look. He got the first shot away. When it came back to him, he ended up looking. Instead of just taking the shot, he looks to the front of the net. And he finds Solane. Watch Solane. He backs off a little bit. Quint saw him. Quint aimed for Solane, not for the net. Solane just deflected that puck in nicely.
So a nice finish by Solane, but big play by Darren Quint back at the blue line.
Good offensive heads-up play by Quint.
And it's 3-2 for the Jets. Doric mixing it up, and he and McCarty, will they or won't they?
They're two tough boys. See if they go at it. Oh, fans didn't like that.
Oh, they were all set, but they waited a little bit too long, and the linesman got in. Jets with a 3-2 lead. Solane from Quinn at 12:36.
When Subway asked us, Bucky and Vinny, to review their authentic steak and cheese sandwich, we went to the steak and cheese capital of the world, Philadelphia.
Hey, this is where they filmed my favorite movie.
How about a great steak and cheese? Hey, Cam, steak and cheese, please.
This is very good. Like it, huh?
This is the real McCoy. Tender seasoned steak with melted processed cheese all on fresh baked bread.
We have a winner.
Subway, what a sandwich.
Updated a Quebec referendum. Right now, with nearly 90% of the votes counted, no leads the yes by the smallest of margins, 50.2% to 49.8%. Too early for it to be called yes.
Closed captioning this period brought to you by Thruway Muffler, where top quality muffler suspension and brake service is fully guaranteed. Jets up by 1, 7:08 to go in the second period. I'm Paul Romanek with Gary Green at the arena in Winnipeg. Gord Miller and Bob McKenzie watching a couple of other games going on tonight. Colorado playing Dallas, San Jose is playing Vancouver, and also, of course, updating the referendum results on this very important night in Canadian history.
Doug and McCarty, both in the penalty box, both with a couple of minutes.
Offsetting minor penalties, teams 4-on-4. Little extra room for guys like Coffey and Yzerman, who's got the puck now. Here comes Yzerman with Primo storming up on the left-hand side, but that rush snuffed out at the blue line. Yzerman after it, trying to steal it from Manson. He and Primo come in. Primo got around Newman and got his stick up. No penalty called. Newman sort of looked towards the referee. This is Lidstrom. Primo takes the feed up on the right side. Yzerman following up, moving in towards the front of the goal. But Primo gets waylaid down in the corner, tied up with Manson. Here's Yzerman now with it. Yzerman still tried to slide it through there. Lidstrom missed it. And here comes Newman. On the way up ahead to Eastwood. Couldn't knock the pass down. Konstantinov with it. Jets on a line change. 6:10 to go in the second period. 3-2. Winnipeg is leading. 55 seconds still to go in the 4-on-4. Fedorov for Larionov. Shoots. Rebound up there. Fedorov with another shot, and Hammy Bullen will hang on to it.
Well, he thought anyway. His guess was right. Hammy Bullen could feel the puck after Fedorov shot it, but he wasn't 100% certain that it wasn't in the net. He looked around behind him, but was glad to find out that it wasn't in the net.
Took a little telltale peek.
Will Hammy Bullen be number one here? Will Shovel Day be number one? Yet to be answered here.
Biggest influence on Nikolai's goaltending career so far, he says, was as a 14-year-old. He picked up a dog-eared copy of a book on goaltending written by Vladislav Tretiak. Read it, thought, yeah, I could do that.
I think Tretiak could teach him a lot about goaltending. So could Pete Peters, who is the goaltending coach here in Winnipeg.
Here's Fedorov in front of the net, and Larionov couldn't knock it down. Fedorov almost Gretzky-esque the way he set up there back of the net, waited to tuck it in front to Larionov.
Fedorov, like another Red Wing, Paul Coffey, has got a bad groin, and he is still playing, but not feeling great.
Here comes Fedorov. Dropped it off for Larionov. Shannon just clears that in. Fetisov going after it. Kachuk bumps him. Here's Korolev. Newman. Korolev coming in. Kachuk is with him. Delayed penalty coming up. It's going to go against Detroit. Jets get the extra attacker out there. And now we'll get the penalty call as Fetisov touches it. An interference call coming up against the Detroit Red Wings. This is Molson, NHL Tonight on TSN.
Some things in life are perfectly clear. Repairing your windshield instead of replacing it makes sense. An unrepaired windshield becomes 50 pounds of unrecyclable garbage. Let Apple repair that stone chip and do your part for the environment.
Igor Larionov sitting in the penalty box for interference. The Red Wings trying to stand up in the neutral zone to stop the Winnipeg Jets. Larionov guilty of interference on that play. Konstantinov was trying to stand up, forcing the Jets to shoot the puck in. He did that effectively.
Here's Stapleton. Over to Newman. Korolev, Solane, and Kachuk up front for Winnipeg. This is Kachuk with it. Back for Newman. Gets it up there for Solane. Korolev knocks it down. Puck rolling around. Stapleton fires one up. Newman looking for it. Stapleton, normally a forward, parked back there at the left point for this power play. Korolev, back out to Stapleton. Solane. Kachuk is parked down in front. He's battling away. He and Ramsey with a pretty good little tip going. Stapleton fires one up. Ramsey and Kachuk along the boards. Korolev picks it up. Around to Solane. Looking in front, centers it. No goal. Went off of Kachuk's skate. Waved off immediately.
Solane was looking for a loose stick blade, and I think the replay will show us that he finds Kachuk all right, but Kachuk's left skate
didn't go in. Yeah, first of all,
it hit the post. Came across, didn't go in.
And it didn't hit Kachuk either. It hit Mark Bergevin.
From that angle, it shows much differently. I thought, as you can see right here, Kachuk coming across right through the crease, I thought that it ended up hitting his skate, but as you can also clearly see, it doesn't matter anyway whether it hit his skate because it didn't go in. Hit the post, came across the line, and that's what Mick Magoo was waving off, the fact that it didn't go in, period. Oh, yes, Halloween's tomorrow night. What are you dressing up as, Paul?
Oh, I thought I'd...
What'd you start so early for?
Rim shot, please.
Hey, now there's a cutie. That's a Halloween costume. I know what those other guys were dressed up as, but they're not going to win any prize, I can assure you that.
Here's Stapleton moving up after it. Yzerman just lifting it out, and he's got it now. Yzerman shoots. Abby Bullen knocks that one away. 50 seconds left in the power play for Winnipeg. Here comes Solane. Newman in with him. Kachuk as well as they come in over the blue line. Korolev coming in on the left-hand side. Here's Newman in with it. Yzerman pokes it away from him, and Primo's on the way. Coffey and Yzerman up to join him. Here's Primo. Drops it back for Coffey. Across in front. Primo couldn't convert. And the Jets start back. 29 seconds to go in the power play. Solane to Kachuk. Back in front. Stapleton. Korolev with a shot. Korolev loves to follow up the play, and there was a great example there. Puck over to Newman, and he gloves that one down. And the puck crossed the plane of the goal line, of the blue line, pardon me. And offside called on Winnipeg.
Jets have got some pretty good abilities to turn that puck over and then break out. They were throwing the puck around well, they were skating well, and watch that little drop pass. It came close. Back to Korolev, who's been hotter than a firecracker.
Canadian Tire has guaranteed low prices every day on MotoMaster batteries, so you can get one whenever you need one, and you won't get left out in the cold.
And that looked a little like Winnipeg today. It was snowing here today.
I hate to be a whiny Easterner, but...
Well, then don't be.
What is that? Snow in October. Come on.
I thought it was a nice day for hockey. What do you think?
Ronan up after it. Winnipeg now 0 for 5 in the power play. Had one shot on goal during that man advantage. This is Fetisov for Detroit. Up to Larionov. Fedorov. Up to the line. To Larionov. Kozlov going for the net, but Abby Bullen just snags that and settles things down. 3-2 is the score here. Winnipeg leading. Let's see what's going on elsewhere. Gordon?
Well, I can guarantee you, Paul, it is not snowing in Dallas. Although it is a blizzard of Colorado goals. Valerie Kamensky around Darian Hatcher for his 4th of the year. Give Colorado a 3-0 lead. By the way, what's wrong with snow in October?
Not a thing, Gord. Because it's a pretty cool game.
Hey, well, it is the coolest game on earth here today. Nothing wrong with a little snow in October.
Yeah, so stop your whining. Let's get on with it. By the way, you never did tell us what you were wearing tomorrow night for Halloween.
Yeah.
Oh, big secret, eh?
I'll go out as you. It guarantees you a good seat in a restaurant.
And it'll scare a lot of people, too.
Here's Fetisov. King is up there. Turcotte as well. Kozlov mushing his way in over the blue line. Puck pulled away from him. Shannon will clear it back. Fetisov and Doan racing after it. Doan up there battling away. And here comes Larionov back. Kozlov up to his left. And Fedorov trying to catch up. Offside called on the Red Wings.
Oh, King was looking for Larionov and had Larionov zigged to his left instead of his right. He would have went kerthump right into Chris King. But Larionov's been around for a while. He's seen lots of guys try to give him one of those. Larionov's not a very big guy, but he's a pretty smart guy. And that's why he was able to be shifty enough to avoid
Chris King. I say many have probably tried to line him up during his career. He scored for the Red Wings in his debut with Detroit. It was a short-handed goal. Here's Shannon to Wilkinson. Osgood. Doan given a bump there by McCarty. They've had a good little battle going tonight. Darren McCarty and Shane Doan. And this is McCarty with it now. Trying to burrow his way in. And he's knocked into the boards by Wilkinson. Taylor looking for it. Lapointe shovels it back to Taylor. McCarty is in front. Lapointe plants himself there too. Here's McCarty, shoots. Nice stop by Heavy Bullen coming across. And Doan, long pass up ahead for Gillen. He couldn't knock it down.
Good play by Doan, though. He was getting his head up, looking for the person to pass it to, and he found Gillen out there.
And Winnipeg will change him up in the goal. 1 minute to go in the second period. 3-2. Winnipeg leading the Detroit Red Wings. Bergevin clears it in. Wings had 3 in there. Primo, Yzerman, and Cicerelli were all in. Bergevin back to pick it up. Here comes Yzerman, crisscrossing there at the line with Primo. Yzerman will get some help now from Primo. Ramsey breaking towards the front of the net. He was bumped by Solane on his way in. And Solane will start back, dipping and diving to the line. Up ahead for Korolev. Up to Solane, chipped it just over top of the net. Solane still up there, 19 seconds to go in the period. Solane was caught with a high stick there from Primo. And that will bring things to a halt with 14.7 seconds to go in the second period. And Primo will head to the box. No question he got the stick up on Solane there as they came out back towards the blue line.
Solane's line sure can add some excitement here. Right there is where the stick got up. On the right side, actually, of Solane. Watch this opportunity, though, by the Jets. Just a great play. Solane did not see that Osgood was going down as much as he did. He had a lot of room upstairs there. Not from a great angle, though. Not much of a stick in the face, but enough to send Keith Primo to the penalty box for high stick.
15 seconds to go in the period.
I don't like it. Just a little nick like that, and, you know, guys just too quickly drop right away.
Here's Manson back to pick it up. And the Winnipeg Jets will start the third period off. Almost tied.
And now Manson's going to get a penalty, too. Because he cross-checked Draper from behind. Manson, you know, has had a history of giving a bonehead pass about once a game in his career, and that was the one for the night. Manson breaking out. Look, he's got his head up, but he gave that puck right to Chris Draper, who was all alone then on Happy Bullen, and then you see the cross-check from behind by Manson.
So now the teams will start the third period at even strength. It is 3-2 Winnipeg after a pair.
Welcome to McDonald's Second Intermission, brought to you by your local McDonald's restaurants. Now, here are your hosts, Gord Miller and Bob McKenzie.
Scott Bowman on his way to the Detroit dressing room to blister his team, no doubt, but I wonder if the 5 Russians have a clear understanding of what he might say. They do play well together.
What about those other Russians, Korolev and Happy Bullen? But let me ask you this, or talk about this. Igor Larionov's playing center. Keith Primo's playing center. Originally, they were going to trade Steve Yzerman because they had to have Fedorov and Primo playing center. All of a sudden, Fedorov is playing the wing. Yzerman's playing the wing. All these guys that were supposed to be centers are now on the wing to make room for Igor Larionov. Go figure.
I can't explain it. I'll leave it up to you later. We'll have more news in the National Hockey League. What's going to happen to Curtis Joseph? We'll hear from Ray Shepard, the newest San Jose Shark, and we'll check in with Dallas and Colorado when our McDonald's Second Intermission continues.
Bell Advantage presents You Make the Call.
June 7th, 1994, Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final between Vancouver and the Rangers. Havelbury with the penalty shot. Does he beat Mike Richter? You make the call.
There's a very simple reason why there's nothing more reliable than Advantage 800 service. It's not the fact that even our backup systems have backup systems, or that a call can be routed through 8 million alternate routes if there's a problem. It's because if it isn't reliable,
we're sorry. Your call cannot be completed as dialed.
you might as well do this to your business. Advantage 800. Everything in business should be this reliable.
Havelbury on the penalty shot makes a nice move, but Mike Richter slides across for the save. It's a great save. The Rangers go on to beat the Canucks 4-2, and they take the 1994 Stanley Cup in 7 games.
The land, mark of characteristically clean, cold, and crisply defined by a consistently held and fluid belief in everything you're made of. Why? Because I am.
Go for a healthy decision. Rest, crunch. You can't beat that. McCain Super Fries is where it's at.
Great tasting, crispy McCain Super Fries are prepared with 100% non-hydrogenated canola oil, so they contain just half a gram of saturated fat per serving.
More than that, they taste just great, so get the facts, they're on the pack.
McCain Super Fries, low in saturated fats for a healthy decision.
Now you can't beat that.
All night it's been too close to call, but they're getting close to calling it now in the Quebec referendum. Yes, that's incorrect, by the way. Reverse that. No leads 50.4%. Yes has 49.6%. So just to clarify, no leads in the Quebec referendum. Don't want to make any inadvertent Canadian history there. Well, the Detroit Red Wings shuffled a player off to San Jose this week, sending Ray Shepherd to the Sharks. Now, the Sharks had been talking about building their team through youth and the draft, but in recent weeks they've been acquiring players with a little bit of NHL experience under their belts, including Ray Shepherd, who feels that his veteran experience will help his new team.
From looking at them in last year, it was a situation that you know, they had some you know, older players that you know, they felt that you know, they wanted to go with their young talent, and last year was a tough year for them playing us in Detroit in the playoffs, and I think now they're going with the older experienced players that like skilled players such as Owen Nolan and you know, myself and Craig Janney, and I think those are the guys that have to come across and show some leadership and some consistency in how to play you know, in this league every night. And it's a situation where the young guys you know, they're second and third year you know, in the league now, and now they got to start you know, pulling their own just like the older guys, and we got to come together more as a team.
Well, one thing San Jose might need to look at is the goaltending. Kevin Constantine has said a couple of times this year their goaltending has been far too inconsistent. One guy who's still out there is Curtis Joseph, still unsigned by Edmonton.
Well, Curtis Joseph's situation is as follows. His agent, Don Meehan, is talking to Glenn Sather, has been talking to him all day, trying to close down a deal. They're very close to putting a deal together, but in the event that they can't come to terms on a deal, then Curtis Joseph looks as though he will be heading to the International Hockey League. A number of teams vying for his services, not the least of which is the Las Vegas Thunder. So I would suspect that maybe by tomorrow, Curtis Joseph either has a new contract or he goes off to the International League for a while and getting some game shape.
The Tampa Bay Lightning have a problem with depth, but one area where they do have something to give away is goaltending. Darren Pupa, though, is the big question in T-Bay.
Well, Darren Pupa, they can't sign him right now. They're having a difficult time doing that, and as a result, there's a lot of interest in him from teams that believe they need a goaltender. The Philadelphia Flyers are certainly interested to some degree. Dominic Roussel's name has been mentioned as somebody that would go back to Tampa Bay in exchange for Pupa. The Boston Bruins are also getting either average or below average net mining depending on the night, whether it's Blaine Locker, whether it's Craig Billington, and there's a lot of talk in Boston that maybe they'd be interested in a guy like Darren Pupa.
All right, well, goaltending not a problem for the Colorado Avalanche tonight. When we come back in our McDonald's second intermission, we'll take you to Reunion Arena where the Avalanche are pouring it on against the Stars.
Pushing 10 to 3.
Timeout is called right now. Shaq's got to do something big to get back in this game.
Commercial.
Shaq is leaving the court.
What are you doing there? He's on Lucy.
What?
I didn't know Shaq could ride a horse.
Hiya, pal.
Well, the timeout is over. I wonder if he's going to get back. Hey, wait a minute. Shaq's back. He got it. How about that play?
There's nothing good on TV.
As a rule, engines develop good torque only when you push hard on the accelerator. But even at idle speed, a Dodge Magnum V8 can pull not only this loaded Ram 1500, but this loaded 2500 and a loaded 3500 as well. 15 tons. That's because every Ram truck has to pull much more than its own weight, even at idle speed. Dodge, Canada's truck stop.
From Gillette comes a revolutionary form of protection for men. Gillette Clear Gel Antiperspirant. Unlike a stick that can stay in your underarm hair, this is a soft gel. It goes cleanly through the hair right down to the skin surface to fight odor and wetness where it begins. And that means effective all-day protection. A revolutionary form, Gillette Clear Gel Antiperspirant.
Today's cars and trucks are more advanced than ever, but there is a price. Their harder working engines can wreak havoc on the motor oil, breaking it down almost immediately. That's why Castrol GTX provides maximum protection against viscosity and thermal breakdown. So use Castrol, or your harder working engine could make things hard on you. Castrol GTX, engineered for greater protection against breakdown.
Look for Castrol GTX at these and other leading outlets.
When you're the Sports Network, you better get the score right. Here's the latest from the Quebec referendum. Right now, no leads yes, 50.4%. 97.2% of the votes have been cast. It has been called by most projections as a no victory in the referendum. Much more one-sided tonight at the Reunion Arena in Dallas. The Colorado Avalanche with a number of questions in the last couple of weeks. They're being answered tonight against a good Stars team. Colorado with a 3-0 lead in the second period. As we take you back with John Kelly and Peter McNabb.
He went against the odds and the stats, Peter, and thus far it hasn't paid off.
Well, Wakaluk, had been playing so well, and Moog had struggled apparently a little bit this season. Won his last game 4-3, but didn't look apparently particularly strong. So again, Gainey going with the guy that was doing it for him, especially here at home.
Sort of like a baseball manager putting up a hitter. Lefty against a lefty, going against the odds. If he gets a hit, the manager's brilliant. But if he doesn't, they say, I told you so.
Well, those are the numbers, right? That's the tough part about coaching. You go by the numbers, you say, you've got to go with instincts once in a while. You go with instincts, look at the numbers if it goes wrong.
1:15 left here in the second. Sakic in deep. Now for Young in front. Oh, Simon fanned on it. Adam Foote kept it in. But the Stars break it up. 1 minute left here in the second period. And that play is offside as...
Just to bring you up to date on what's happened so far, Dallas has come back a little bit with shots on goal with 8 in this period, but outshot 16-12 so far. Scoring chances favor Colorado 15-10, and the big difference, the Avalanche 2 for 4 in the power play, and Joe Sakic is figured in all 3 Avalanche goals.
And Saturday night, came back to win them both, especially the Saturday night game, a 4-3 overtime thriller. DU 3-1 for the season.
And that's an ex-Pioneer speaking beside me. You say that with a lot of pride.
Oh, yeah, when they win, boy, I'll wear that jersey around.
By the way, that last goal again, Kamensky from Ozolinch and Sakic at 16-17, a power play goal. It's 3-0. Here's Forsberg. Off his wrong foot, a pretty good shot nonetheless. And Wakaluk made the save.
It looks lucky when Forsberg comes in like that. We've seen 2 examples of it, and fires the puck that goes through the defenseman. That's a real art to miss the defenseman and still hit the net.
10 seconds left here in the second. As Lefebvre gets it out. It's dumped in by Rzyński. And this will do it. The second period is history, and the Avalanche have added to their lead. Ozolinch.
His feet drive me nuts. Bigfoot. Adam Foote. There you go. It makes sense. Now it does make sense. We'll be back with more on our McDonald's second intermission when the NHL Tonight on TSN continues in just a minute.
What's so new about new Speed Stick Clear deodorant? Take a look at this gel. See? It's wet and sticky. And mine, it goes on dry.
New Speed Stick Clear. It's more than clear. It's clearly dry.
By Menon. Hey, I'll take dry any day.
Everybody was famous, every actor, every industrialist, but a lot of pretty shady people as well traveled on this trade. Everyone wants to see something new and sort of be refreshed by a new experience. American Express has always had a great reputation in tourism. The American Express customer is our sort of customer.
American Express is welcomed on the Orient Express and for other moving experiences.
I've got gigabytes, I've got megabytes. I'm voicemailed, I'm emailed, I surf the net, I'm on the web. I am Cyberman. So how come I feel so out of touch?
Are you free? Are you really free? Are you really free?
On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers.
What's so new about New Speed Stick Clear deodorant? Take a look at this gel. See? It's wet and sticky. And mine, it goes on dry.
New Speed Stick Clear. It's more than clear. It's clearly dry.
By Menon. Hey, I'll take dry any day.
Coming up in a couple of minutes, San Jose and Vancouver get underway in Vancouver. Alexander McGillney, not tonight.
Slight hamstring pull picked up in Saturday night's game against Winnipeg. Nothing too serious. In fact, he wanted to play tonight's game. Coach Rickley says, no, you're not going to play. Pavel Bure moves on to that line with Cliff Ronning and Roman Oksuda. See if they can get Bure going a little bit. He's got 4 goals this season. And they really haven't found a center. They were hoping Ridley was going to come in and do the job with Bure. They haven't found a center to play on a full-time basis that can really get the puck to Pavel and really get him going at the top of his game. Maybe Ronning will be the guy tonight.
So much discussion about the Canucks looking to get Igor Larionov, but now with him in Detroit, looks like Vancouver will still have to be in the market if, in fact, the Canucks still are. Getting set now for the third period between Winnipeg and Detroit with the NHL tonight coming.
McDonald's second intermission has been brought to you by your local McDonald's restaurants.
When back pain strikes, ordinary pain relievers often aren't enough. Doctors recommend Robaxacet. It combines 2 active ingredients. One to relieve your back pain, the other to relax your tense back muscles. Ask your pharmacist for Robaxacet, helping you walk away from back pain.
Think headlamps. Think fuel injection. Think self-deterrent system. Whatever you buy, think to use your GM Visa card. You won't pay an annual fee, and you will earn 5% of everything you spend towards a new GM car or truck. Mudguards? Now you're thinking.
Getting ready for the third period at the Winnipeg Arena. Here's what's happened in the middle 20 minutes. Stapleton gets his first of the year from Korolev at 106 to give the Jets the lead. But then the Russians strike, Bob.
They do. Fedorov from Larionov and Kozlov. That big red unit of theirs.
And then the tie is broken off as Teemu Solani gets his 5th of the year. We're good luck. Anyone we interview scores the next period. At 12:36, he gets his 5th of the year. Shots on goal. Yeah, they're on pace for another 70-shot night in Winnipeg. Jets have been outshot 25-22, and they're 0 for 6 so far on the power play. Ready for the third period. Let's go back to Paul and Gary.
Hey, here's the Russian unit update, guys, again. Fedorov ended up with 3 shots in that period. That gives him 5 for the game so far. Out of the 12 shots by Detroit that period, once again, the Russian unit had 7 of those shots. And just for Bob McKenzie, Korolev had 2 shots on net that period.
Last time these two teams played, they battled to a 5-5 tie. It is 3-2 Winnipeg leading as we get things rolling in the third. Offside called on Winnipeg. The club starting the period off at even strength, and then in a minute and 27 seconds, it'll be a brief power play, a 15-minute power play for the Red Wings.
And Bob said, how about Khabibulin? No question that Khabibulin has been very sharp in this game. He's going to have to be sharp in this third period if the Jets are going to be able to maintain their undefeated streak at home.
Kozlov throws it back there. This is Paul Coffey with us. And Kozlov up to the line. Yzerman going for the front of the net. Knocked away by Quint. Korolev up to the blue line. Tkachuk with him. Offside. Lidstrom. Here's Yzerman. That's knocked down. Turcotte with it. Starting back with Solane. Konstantinov there to steal it. Pulled down by Solane. A penalty coming up.
That was rather obvious. Konstantinov is going every which way.
So the Red Wings with the extra attacker out there on the delayed penalty. Konstantinov just throws it up there. And Teemu Solane will head to the box.
Well, Solane can argue this one, but that's just wasting his breath. Look, he had his stick right up underneath of Konstantinov's left armpit and just gave a little tug. That sent Konstantinov north, south, east, and west all at the same time.
Get it down on net as quick as possible. There's the odd team and the odd days where you're going to have a little more time than others, but most teams and killers are on top of the game. They're going to be on you. You have to move the puck around as quick as possible and just get it to the net and hopefully get a dirty goal every now and then.
Well, now's the time to get it going, that's for sure, for the Detroit Red Wings.
Hey, dirty, clean, they'll take him. Detroit will have a 2-man advantage for 15 seconds. It's a 4-on-3 right now. Fedorov. Knocked down, back to Konstantinov. Trying to work it in. Larionov throws it back to Fetisov. Down to Fedorov. Larionov is parked right in front of the net. Fedorov banks one towards the goal. Here's Fetisov. 2-man advantage now for the Red Wings for 15 seconds. Fedorov works it across. It's a 5-on-3 for Detroit. Working in. Kozlov gets it down low. Fedorov threw it right across in front. And Wilkinson, with a nice effort, gets the puck out. 2-man advantage has expired. It's now a 1-man advantage for 1:08.
Wasn't pretty by Wilkinson, but he sure did get the job done. Got the puck out in the neutral zone.
Wilkinson tried to bang it around the boards, couldn't get it out. Fedorov to Kozlov. Nobody in front yet. Fetisov shoots. Larionov just tipped that one wide. And here comes Tkachuk back out for Winnipeg. Gets it up ahead to Randy Gillen. Stepping up, shoots. Osgood bats that one away, and Fedorov will start back. 45 seconds left in the Detroit power play. Kozlov. Whoops, slammed on the brakes, lost an edge. Fedorov there to pick it up. Here's Lidstrom. Fedorov shoots, and Khabibulin's got it. Fedorov has won tonight and has had a couple of good quality shots on goal.
Fedorov was ready for that pass when he got it. He just let go with that shot. He saw that Kozlov was standing right to the side of Khabibulin. Perfect trigger on Fedorov's part.
30 seconds left in the power play for Detroit. Yzerman, Cicerelli, Primo all up for the face-off. Lidstrom and Coffey back at the blue line. Coffey up to Yzerman. Eastwood and Newman and watching him. And Eastwood will sweep it away and start out. Has Shannon with him. Gets it up ahead. Shannon comes in. Eastwood going for the front of the net and couldn't pick up the return pass. Coffey was there to knock it down. 10 seconds left in the Detroit power play. Here's Yzerman. Cicerelli up after it. Up for Primo. Penalized player back on. The Jets weather the storm and start back. Here comes Newman up to the blue line. Solane is with him. So is Eastwood. Newman trying to get it loose. He is belted as Primo came storming across. Solane trying to center it. Yzerman will start back for Detroit. He comes up there with Primo. Yzerman looking for Cicerelli in the slot. Gets it out there, and Cicerelli had it knocked off his stick. Newman and Cicerelli in the corner. Primo moving up there to help out. Here's Primo in front of the net. LaPointe couldn't pull the trigger. And Manson starting back for Winnipeg.
Detroit only ended up with one shot on that last power play. They only had 5 shots for the game on their 4 power play opportunities. Scott Bowman won't be pleased with those statistics at all, and it's a better reason why they're not playing well in the power play.
Just will not do. Martin LaPointe up after it. The Red Wings continue to struggle in the power play. Nice stop by Osgood there with Turcotte coming in on the right-hand side. Detroit 0 for 4 on the power play tonight, 2 for 34.
Drops it in and the game is underway. Saved by Burnett.
Great game, huh? Oh, yeah, but listen, I can't talk to you, okay, because I don't want to miss anything. Or did you hand me my soda, please? Yeah.
It's deflected to the ground for another great souvenir.
That was my puck. That was my puck.
Cool game, huh?
Yeah, the coolest game on earth. No. No. Did you plan this?
Early third in Dallas. Peter Forsberg to Claude Lemieux, who gets his 4th of the year. Forsberg's 2nd assist of the night. Colorado leads Dallas 4-0.
Canadian Tire has guaranteed low prices every day on MotoMaster batteries, so you can get one whenever you need one, and you won't get left out in the cold.
Hey, the coolest power play on earth, the Detroit Red Wings tonight, 2 for 34 in the last 5+ games.
Might be pretty hot in the dressing room, though, after the game if they lose this one. As far as Scott Bowman is concerned, flu-ridden and all, he's not happy with his team's performance tonight. He can't be.
Here's Igor Larionov for Detroit. Fetisov. Kozlov on the way up. Larionov with him. Fedorov too. Here comes Konstantinov. He's got a bit of room. He's got a chance. He gets it in front of the net. Khabibulin sliding across. Stopped Fedorov right there.
Khabibulin read that play very well. And he was quick to move from his left to his right to take the scoring opportunity by Fedorov away. But Konstantinov has played a good game tonight. He's been involved in the offense as he was on that shift, leading it into the zone. He's a big, strong man, and he was able to fight off the check and get that puck across. Now, mind you, Fedorov didn't have much of an opportunity there to get any type of wood on it. Khabibulin, though, just scooped it out of the air. Khabibulin has played well. Interesting that Terry Simpson hit it right on the head when he was talking about penalty killing. He said the best penalty killer on your team's got to be your goaltender.
Off the draw, Fedorov couldn't get it on goal. Here's Kozlov. Fedorov is back in the net. Larionov just hovering by the circle. King working over Kozlov. He comes around. Kozlov, he still got it. Couldn't get the shot on goal, though. Came through all kinds of traffic to get there to the hash marks. Fetisov had it knocked away. Puck comes up ahead. Kozlov steps in. Looking around, Larionov and Fedorov up there with him. Turcotte pokes it back out.
When the Russian unit here decides they're going to control the puck, they almost look as though they're on the power play.
Here comes Turcotte. Top of the slot, just floats one in, and Osgood will hang on to it. 3-2 here with 14:29 to go in the third. Off to Dallas. Gordon.
Yeah, back in Big D, Chris Simon in behind the net, number 12, sends it in front for Joe Sakic. 2 goals, 2 assists tonight for Sakic. And Colorado, looking for its first shutout of the year, leads the Dallas Stars 5-0.
Boy, new contract, and Sakic is just flying for that Colorado team.
Kozlov isn't flying right now. He was down on one knee, being attended to. Obviously, a stick or a puck in the mouth. Having his dental work checked on, too.
As the dentists across the country thank us for that close-up look of the bridge work there.
Well, didn't look as though he had any cavities anyway.
14:29 to go here in the third. The Jets up 3-2. Winnipeg has not lost on home ice this year. Finish a point we touched on earlier on. 7,905 here tonight, Gary. And talking about, you brought up a great point. Much less pressure on the Jets, on the players and the coaches this year because they know their situation, but still really weird when you come to a hockey town like this and people don't seem to be talking about the team. The arena is half empty.
And the Stanley Cup finalists are in town, the Detroit Red Wings, from the original 6.
And the Jets have a very competitive team this year. They're playing really well. A team worth coming out to watch. Here's Shannon. Trying to get it out in front. Eastwood knifed it on goal. Stabbed in midair by Osgood. They scramble away. And what a nice stop that was by Osgood.
Osgood really had his eyes on that puck. He used everything in order to stop it. Got the blocker out. Now watch this. Osgood knows where that puck is. He goes down. Now watch this backhand right there. How did he stop that one? I don't know how he saw it, but he used his blocker to stop it. That puck was labeled for the top corner. It was heading straight in.
Oh, he saw it. It wasn't the old butterfly out and hope it hits you coming through the crowd. He knocked that one away with his blocker. Here's Coffey. Up around to McCarty. Osgood will field that one. Osgood undefeated this year coming into this game. Strange, they spent a lot of money to re-sign Mike Vernon, who may well end up being the #1 man, but Osgood is playing like the #1 goaltender right now.
Remember, Vernon was supposed to play tonight.
Oh, puck just fired wide after Osgood had trouble controlling a rebound.
That puck was on Coffey's stick.
Eastwood clears it back in.
Eastwood just smacked it right off of Coffey's stick. Almost scored.
And here comes Coffey, winding it up to the blue line. Trying to roll it through. Turcotte fires it right back out for Winnipeg.
Hey, Coffey can take about 2 strides, and it does the job of many players in this league that have to take 4 or 5 to get the same distance.
Shannon, long shot. That's batted away by Osgood. King wires it. Picked off.
Abby Bullen played well at one end, and Chris Osgood has been sharp lately, especially when he's been tested. That was a great glove save as Chris King just let go with a rocket.
Osgood with the shutout the other night against the Calgary Flames. Faced only 8 shots on goal. Seen considerably more work tonight. The Jets have fired 27 shots his way.
You know, you talk about that, about the game Friday night. The Detroit Red Wings actually went to Calgary on Wednesday last week. So they were in Calgary on Wednesday, stayed there, and they've only played 1 game in all of these days. That's not always very good for your hockey club. Not at this time of the year when it's better to be playing on a regular basis.
Here's Lapointe right up there. Abby Bullen stopped him. Martin Lapointe just bashing his way through. Ramsey back there to tag it up. Icing called on Winnipeg. Jets up 3-2. 12:42 to go on Molson NHL tonight.
When Subway asked us, Bucky and Vinny, to review their authentic steak and cheese sandwich, we went to the steak and cheese capital of the world, Philadelphia.
Hey, this is where they filmed my favorite movie.
How about a great steak and cheese? Hey, Cam, steak and cheese, please.
This is very good. Like it, huh?
This is the real McCoy. Tender seasoned steak with melted processed cheese all on fresh baked bread.
We have a winner.
Subway, what a sandwich.
Tonight's event is brought to you in part by Trojan Condoms.
The men who give their best every day deserve our best. Gillette Aftershave Skin Conditioner. It moisturizes for incredible comfort. With Sensor Excel, it's Gillette's best shave. Gillette, the best a man can get.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by Subway, the place where fresh is the taste.
Well, 24 hours from now, all the ghosts and goblins will be out. This guy's getting clean, I guess, for the big day tomorrow. That's a pretty good outfit, Paul. Maybe that's the one that you should have tomorrow night. You go trick-or-treating in Toronto. Make sure you take that shower cap, too.
to keep what dry?
Yeah, good point.
To keep my hair dry. I mean hair singular. Here comes Taylor. Crimson up there after it. Big collision in the corner. Quint got the worst of it. He wobbles back up. Puck bouncing around there at the side. Quint right back up into the play. Going after Crimson. LaPointe trying to come out with it. Crimson in front. Knocked away by Javi Bulin. Crimson really battling down there with Quint in front of the net. Now he steps back after it. Crimson couldn't get it in front. And here comes Korolev on the way. Up there with Kachuk. That's knocked down at the line.
Manson and Taylor were going at it in the crease, and Taylor was spending a lot of time in Javi Bulin's crease.
11:45 to go in the third period. Jets up 3-2.
Manson, the aggressive defenseman for the Winnipeg Jets, took the bad penalty at the end of the second period. But when they're trying to defend the lead, Manson has to be a key ingredient in their own end. One thing that Terry Simpson, that's noticeable out there tonight, has been getting his players thinking about, and that's positional, man-on-man defensive hockey. When the puck has been in Winnipeg Jets end zone tonight, there has definitely been a concentration on trying to pick up your man. Not that they haven't failed that task a few times. They have. But there's signs that Terry Simpson's getting through to these guys.
Puck cleared up ahead.
And a good test tonight against a strong offensive team.
Here's Konstantinov. Larionov works it across. Here comes Kozlov. Shoots. Rising shot batted away by Javi Bulin. Shannon down in the corner. This is King. Doan on the way. Doan up there with Turcotte. Doan given a bump by Fedorov.
And Fedorov was really looking for Doan. Came all the way across the ice to make that check. That's unusual.
A little payback from Fedorov after Doan had knocked him down earlier in the series. Here's Fedorov now. Back for Kozlov. Muscling his way up there. The puck hits the post. Kozlov hits the post. And we get a stoppage. And a penalty coming up. It's going to be a holding call. And it's going to go against the Winnipeg Jets. Mike Eastwood heading towards the box.
Watch what Eastwood does. There you go. Now watch Eastwood. Watch his stick. Or watch his hand, I should say. Take a little grab of Kozlov. And away he goes.
10:50 to go here. And opportunity knocking for the Detroit Red Wings. Speaking of a knocking, there'll be lots of it. TSN main event. Fight Fest 5. Billy Irwin and Jesus Rodriguez. And then the next night, Holyfield Bow, a special countdown to Holyfield Bow 3. You'll be there ringside, won't you?
I will.
Detroit 0 for 4 in the power play tonight.
I may be watching it, but I won't be at ringside.
Here's Coffey back to pick it up. Yzerman brings that one in off the board. Cicerelli and Primo up there with Yzerman. Coffey and Lidstrom back at the blue line. Here's Coffey. Yzerman works up, shoots. Happy Bullen got a piece of it, or someone in front did, and the puck rolled wide.
None other than Cicerelli in front of the net, as usual. He had to pay the price. He got knocked down.
1:20 to go in the Detroit power play. Red Wings need a goal to tie. Down by 1. Primo gets it up to Cicerelli. Nobody in front yet. Here's Lidstrom all the way over to Coffey. Cicerelli's down in front now. Yzerman up there too going after it. This is Primo. Up around to Lidstrom. Primo still down low. Cicerelli now back in the net. Primo up there to help out. Nobody in front. Here's Yzerman. Now Cicerelli sets up in front. Primo trying to get loose in the slot as well. Lidstrom shoots. Knocked down in front. Primo chops at it. That bounces just wide.
Happy Bullen has lost his stick.
Keith Primo lunging at that puck. Was almost able to knock it home. 30 seconds left in the power play, and here come the Red Wings again. Coffey gets it up ahead. Larionov over to Kozlov. Gets it up off his skate. Kozlov looking for it. Here's Larionov along the boards. Down low to Fedorov. In front, Larionov couldn't control the pass. And Tkachuk gets it down the ice with 8 seconds left in the power play. Konstantinov. Up ahead, here comes Fedorov, winding his way up there to Kozlov, twisting it up. He's belted by King, and Eastwood gets it out. Here comes Fetisov, up for Larionov. Hits the line. Kozlov was with him. Puck knocked away. Shannon there to pick it up. Here's Kozlov, the giveaway, the chance, the stop. And the puck tapped outside the blue line.
Happy Bullen sharp again. His focus has been there all game.
Kozlov up there after it. He's bumped along the boards by Manson. Fedorov after it. Here's Draper now. And a penalty coming up. Offsetting Manson and Kozlov will go off. They had a nasty little battle going on down in front of the goal.
And Manson's really upset. Took a little tantrum there.
Well, justifiably so. I thought he controlled himself pretty well. We'll check it out when we come back.
There are no medals for being the shoulder to cry on. No awards for passing on traditions. But to the men who give their best every day, we give our best. Gillette Sensor XL. Spring-mounted twin blades that adjust to your face, and soft, flexible microfins that set up your beard, and Gillette Series shaving gel for incredible smoothness. Sensor XL for the closest, most comfortable shave ever. Gillette, the best a man can get.
Hey, Dave Manson is ticked because he picks up a penalty. He thought he had controlled himself pretty well in a little battle in front of the net with Kozlov.
Watch. Just put the stick on Kozlov, just pushing him aside. Kozlov responded by smacking him back, and I can see why Manson is a little upset. There wasn't much to that. And Manson's important to be out there right now, and he probably figures he'll be in trouble with Terry Simpson, but not if Simpson watches the replay. Happy Bullen had to come up big, real big, because look at this. One-on-one, Kozlov and Happy Bullen. Detroit on their last power play attempt had 2 shots.
Offsetting minor penalties. 3-2 is the score. Winnipeg leading. 8:05 to go. As we around the clubhouse turn and head for a great finish in this one. Taylor, Lapointe, Lidstrom, Coffey all up in the face-off here for the Red Wings. Gillen, Kachuk, Shannon, and Wilkinson out there for Winnipeg. Here's Coffey. To Lidstrom. Rolls it up. Taylor shoots. Happy Bullen with a sensational stop. Taylor was right there.
Well, Taylor knows he doesn't get a lot of ice time, and he's a guy, too, that can be in and out of the lineup, so he's got to make an impression on Scotty Bowman. He was standing his ground. Shannon was trying to, well, and effectively control him all right by dumping him. Happy Bullen, though, through all of that traffic, had to see the puck. He did, and jumped on his own rebound. Been sharp. Can he stay sharp? With over 7 minutes left to go.
Happy Bullen 4-0-0 heading into this game tonight. Icing called on Winnipeg. 7:44 to go in the third period. Closed captioning portion of tonight's game brought to you in part by Thruway Muffler. Taylor up to take this face-off for Detroit against Kachuk for the Winnipeg Jets. Like I said, it'll be LaPointe coming in to take the face-off. 1:33 to go in the 4-on-4 situation. Here comes Solane, trying to shift his way through, and he kind of deeped himself out there. Here's Coffey to pick it up. Shannon knocks it down, shoots, Osgood stops it and hangs on. Seen a couple giveaways in the last couple of shifts, one by each team. Good chance for Shannon there.
Shannon stepped right into that puck. Take a look. Here's the long pass. That's what Coffey's looking for. The long breakout pass to LaPointe. It didn't work. Shannon was smart. Shannon stood right up, anticipated that pass, and then stepped into the shot.
It's 3-2 here for Winnipeg, off to Vancouver.
Yeah, first goal of the game, Paul, comes from a couple of new Sharks. Owen Nolan in front with the shot, and it is deflected in by Ray Sheffer, his second in San Jose. 1-0, the Sharks lead the Canucks.
Oh, coaches just hate those long bomb passes, too, especially when they don't work.
Here's Larionov. Konstantinov with it. 7:05 to go. 1 minute to go on the 4-on-4. Korolev up there watching Fetisov. Larionov being watched by Newman. And a penalty coming up. It's going to go against the Jets, but here comes Fedorov right in there. He is stoned. Robbed. Stopped by Happy Bullen. And now Detroit gets a power play chance.
Well, the Russians have been stealing the show tonight. Both teams of Russians. Fedorov broke in beautifully. Boy, did he ever turn on the Jets for a guy with a bad groin. He was smoking. Fedorov just wound it up right there in the neutral zone. Cut in beautifully. And got that shot away, but Happy Bullen made a terrific save. Penalty on the play.
An interference call on Igor Korolev right there. There's the hook, the obstruction from behind. Korolev goes to the box. Detroit 0 for 5 on the power play, and they will have a 4-on-3 man advantage here for 41 seconds, and then it will click over and become a 5-on-4 man advantage. Offsetting minor still being served right now by Dave Madsen and Vyacheslav Kozlov. Primo up in the draw. Coffey up there in the wing for the face-off. Yzerman is up there. Lidstrom parked back at the point. Here's Lidstrom. Over to Coffey. And Tkachuk gets it out. 6:35 to go in regulation time. 3-2, Winnipeg leading Detroit. Lidstrom brings that one in. Primo up after it. This is Primo. Yzerman's down low in the corner. Primo gets it around to him. Lidstrom moving in towards the front of the net. Now Primo will go and park himself there. Here's Lidstrom. Back for Coffey. Over to Lidstrom. Shoots. Javi Bulin stopped it. Had a clear view of that shot. Primo was not able to get himself right in front. Here's Lidstrom now. It's a 5-on-4 man advantage for Detroit. Offside called on the Red Wings. 1:15 to go in the Detroit power play. 6:01 to go in the third. It's 3-2 Winnipeg.
Great test for both teams right now. Let's go to Dallas, though.
Back in Big D, and Colorado's putting up a big number on the Stars. Adam Deadmarsh at the side of the net. No chance for Darcy Wakaluk, and no chance for Dallas. 6-0 Colorado lead.
Deadeye Deadmarsh having a great year with Colorado.
Colorado's going to have a great year.
What'd you think of that deal they made?
I liked it.
Owen Nolan, Ozelinch.
They needed a defenseman, they got one.
Cicarelli gets it up around for Yzerman. Back for Coffey. He kept it in. Up for Cicarelli. And tried to center it there, but Javi Bulin choking it off and hangs on. 59 seconds to go on the power play for Detroit. 5-on-4 man advantage. And Larionov, Fedorov, Kozlov come over the boards.
Well, this is where, right now, Detroit's power play has got to work for them, or else they are in big, big trouble. And I don't mean just in losing a hockey game here, potentially. They've got problems they've got to sort out on this power play. They're not getting enough shots on. Of course, the Russians don't like to shoot unless they're almost certain they're going to score. Scotty's got to deal with that.
Konstantinov to Larionov. Across for Fetisov. Shoots. And knocked down and just cleared out by Newman. 44 seconds to go. Fedorov right down Main Street, and he stopped. There's a shot. Javi Bulin stopped that one too. First Fedorov, then Larionov.
Outstanding. Javi Bulin should get the standing ovation he's getting right now for that second save.
Fetisov gets it up ahead to Larionov. Fedorov over to Kozlov. Gets it back. Fetisov shoots. That's tipped wide. 10 seconds left in the power play for Detroit. And the puck batted down the ice by Mike Stapleton. Here's Kozlov. Penalized player back on. Great work by the Jets, in particular by Nikolai Javy-Bulin.
Yep, the best penalty killer was Javy-Bulin. Larionov still wondering how that puck was saved by Javy-Bulin.
Right after a great stop on Fedorov. He had to scramble back into position and robbed Igor Larionov.
Javy-Bulin at 22 years of age is starting to look like he's the answer. The #1 goaltending job here in Winnipeg.
Konstantinov. Fetisov, long pass up ahead. Here comes McCarty in over the line with Lapointe and Taylor. This is Martin Lapointe battling with Solane into the corner. Taylor comes up. He's pulled down. Tkachuk up to Solane.
Good battling on Solane's part, though. He knew defensively they had to battle in order to protect this lead.
Coffey gets it in over the blue line. Shannon back there to scoop it for the Jets. Here's Coffey. Shoots. Shannon, a rather adventurous cut there in front of his own net. Yeah. And now he fires it down the ice. Didn't carry it that time. 3:26 to go in the third period. It's 3-2 for Winnipeg, and there's your first star as it stands now.
Being oneself, styled expressionist, punctuating the ordinary, searching innermost pockets for your ID, detecting the truthfulness necessary to unapologetically say, this is the way I am.
Story tonight, or the non-story power plays. Winnipeg and Detroit both terrible. Stapleton with a goal and an assist, and the Red Army unit 3 points and 9 chances. Big line for Winnipeg, still big. Tonight's game story brought to you by Super 8 Motels with over 1,300 locations across Canada and North America. Life's great at Super 8.
Clean or what? Super 8 motel rooms are clean. Here are clean. There are clean. Everywhere are clean. And comfortable.
Super 8 Motels, 1-800-800-8000. Clean, comfortable, and affordable.
Nikolai Habibulin the other night gave up an early goal to McGillney and then was rock solid, and he has been rock solid tonight. Look at this.
That was almost a given. A given goal. Larionov just teed that up and smacked it into what he thought was going to be the open net. Habibulin was right there. Tremendous quickness on Habibulin's part.
Just larceny a couple of times tonight on Fedorov, and then a great stop there on Larionov. Primo gets it across to Cicerelli. Primo back to Yzerman. Winds his way into the corner. Couldn't get it in front. 2:55 to go in regulation time. 3-2, Winnipeg leading. And here comes Eastwood on the way. Eastwood with Ronan. Tried to get it across, and Coffey read that like a book, and he starts back the other way. Here comes Coffey. Tried to work it through for Cicerelli. Chops it towards the front. Lidstrom. Works it up for Primo. Cicerelli. Out for Kozlov. He whiffed on that. And Eastwood will just chip it down the ice. Icing called on Winnipeg. Jets wanted to get in a line change. They now have ample opportunity to do so. Nice stop there by Coffey on the 2-on-1.
But I don't think Eastwood is that happy with himself taking the icing call, because he knew that he probably had enough room to get to the red line, then dump it in and have an easy line change instead of taking the face-off. Right here, watch Eastwood. Watch Coffey. Coffey just knocked that puck down and then into the Detroit transition game. And when Paul Coffey leads the way in the transition game, it makes it very dangerous offensively for the opposition. Coffey, those 3 or 4 easy strides, and he's covered half the ice.
Eastwood was up there with Ed Ronan on the 2-on-1. And Coffey just picked off the pass. Boy, you just wonder if the odds are going to catch up to Habibulin. How many great stops has he made tonight? 2 or 3 on Fedorov, a great one on Larionov, and that's the matchup out there again now with Larionov, Fedorov, and Kozlov out there for Detroit against Habibulin.
He's taken over where he left off Saturday night against the Vancouver Canucks. He played a very strong game, and so did the Jets defensively. The Jets defensively tonight have played their positions pretty well. They've had some giveaways. Shannon just had another one in the game that will not be appreciated by Terry Simpson, but Habibulin has had some defensive help. You can't protect a lead unless you're prepared to have some grit and pay the price. And even Solani showed some grit a couple of shifts ago in his own end, got rubbed out along the boards, was able to protect the puck, and that's what Terry Simpson needs more of from his team to be better defensively.
Kozlov almost pulled away there.
Oh, what an elbow.
Konstantinov stepped into King. He caught him. Here's Konstantinov. Dillon up there to give him a bump. Here's Fedorov. Up ahead to Kozlov. 2-line pass.
Well, I thought King got knocked with an elbow, but maybe it was the shoulder. It was directly below us. I mean directly below us. I thought the elbow came up. Let's take a look at it from this angle. No, it was the shoulder. It was the left shoulder that caught King.
Nice, solid, clean head.
It looked as though the way that Konstantinov was striding that elbow was going to come up, but he held it down and actually used his shoulder. To his credit, by mistake. My apologies to Mr. Konstantinov. Actually, if it had been an elbow, King would have been retaliating probably.
Here comes Fedorov, winding it up again. Shoots. Big rebound comes out. Larionov tapped it with a high stick, but it's played by Manson, who will start back. Manson. Fedorov back there to pick it up. Fedorov has been flying out there tonight. He has one goal and has had a chance for at least a couple of others. He's got it now. Fedorov hits the line. Kozlov with him. Offside called on the Red Wings. Kozlov was a step ahead.
How do you like this for confidence showing a young hockey player? Doan is out there in a one-goal game against some pretty powerful offensive players, so great confidence being shown by Coach Terry Simpson, and that's how a young player gets better, when he's put out into situations that he knows all eyes are on him. He's got to respond.
Chris Osgood is going to step onto the Detroit bench. Scotty Bowman throws out the extra attacker with 1:08 to go. Face-off just outside of the Winnipeg blue line. And the Red Wings with an empty net. McCarty, Primo, Yzerman, Cicerelli. The four forwards out there for Detroit. Coffey and Lidstrom back at the blue line. Tkachuk, Eastwood, Shannon will line up front for Winnipeg.
Manson and Newman are out there. You knew they would be out there as far as protecting.
Lidstrom pounds it in. Cicerelli moving up after it. Newman scoops it to the line. Bad bounce there for Coffey as it came out. Less than a minute to go. 3-2, Winnipeg leading. Detroit with the extra attacker. Javi Bulin plays it up along the boards. Yzerman couldn't knock it down. Shannon gets it out. Here's Eastwood. Steps across center. Empty net to shoot at. Bounced it wide.
Too bad Javi Bulin would have got an assist on that goal.
Here comes Primo up ahead for Cicerelli. And the puck skips up over the glass. 34.9 seconds to go. And the Jets with a 3-2 lead.
Jets are looking good here. Manson's having some words. But he's got to stay out of it. McCarty, well, if he drags Manson into it, that would be a bonus right now. Watch Manson and McCarty. McCarty's trying to get in. Manson just kind of interfered with him, didn't he? That's why McCarty was upset. I would say that was obstruction.
Well, the blue line, the line of scrimmage here. The Red Wings will try to muscle that puck in over the blue line off the face-off.
McCarty and Shannon were battling before the puck was even dropped, and McCarty's blade of his stick fell off. That's better for the Winnipeg Jets. Unfortunate for Detroit. And now Winnipeg, Coach Terry Simpson trying to get in just a little extra. A few more seconds of rest.
Yzerman on the face-off against Eastwood. And Shannon and McCarty, look at them battling away. Here's Lidstrom. Gets it up ahead. Coffey to Primo. Coffey was in offside, had to peel back. Cicerelli gets it in. Here's Primo now working up there. 25 seconds to go. Red Wings pressing for the tying goal. And that puck's going to roll down. It will curl wide of the empty net. And icing is called on Winnipeg. 15.9 seconds to go. That's what you didn't want. You iced the puck face off in the defensive zone for Winnipeg.
I think Shannon thought that he had a clear line right straight to the net, but his target was there. His accuracy was a little off.
You see guys do that, Gary. Is it a poise thing? Is it something veterans don't do?
Even veterans do it, Paul. You're thinking of getting the puck out of your own zone. At the same time, you're thinking about trying to put it into the empty net, trying not to ice the puck.
Primo and Kachuk for this all-important face-off. Yzerman back to Coffey. Works it up now. Fedorov looking around. Look at that traffic in front of Khabibulin, but he doesn't have to face a shot as the Jets got it out. Fedorov firing the puck back in, and the Winnipeg Jets are looking great in the early going. At home, they are 4-0-2 as they win this one 3-2.
And Khabibulin tonight is the reason that they remain undefeated at home. Khabibulin was absolutely outstanding. The Detroit Red Wings have got to be pretty frustrated. They threw 39 shots at Khabibulin and could only score twice.
Teemu Selanne with the game winner, and Nikolai Khabibulin rock solid. Winnipeg 3-2 winners over the Detroit Red Wings. More still to come on Molson NHL Tonight.
If the choice was yours, you'd wear something casual to work. But in reality, you have to wear steel-toed work boots. So you wear comfortable, lightweight Dakota Aggressor work boots with the safety you need and the all-day comfort you want. So, when work's finished, you're not. Dakota Aggressor work boots for men and women, only at Mark's Work Warehouse.
Winter's here, and it's time to ask yourself, does your battery have the juice to get you started when you really need it? Do your tires have the traction you need for slippery situations? Only Canadian Tire offers MotoMaster batteries and tires to get you going in any situation. All at the everyday low prices you'd expect from Canada's automotive store. Canadian Tire. There's a lot more for your car for a lot less.
When they were small, we had a little sports car.
But then they got bigger, so we had to get a four-door.
So we leased a new Volkswagen Jetta, $299 a month. Nice, huh? German-engineered front-wheel drive Jetta comes with rack and pinion steering, daytime running lights, dual airbags. It's a great driving car.
It's got a big back seat.
And a huge trunk.
Weimaraners come from Germany.
Maybe that's why they like driving so much.
On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers.
I'll never forget that bright yellow slicker. Puddles wide as oceans, and that hot bowl of soup that'd warm you to your toes. Thank goodness Tim Hortons remembers too.
Hi, Tom. Time for lunch.
With freshly baked bread for sandwiches.
This'll hit the spot.
And real stick-to-your-ribs soups. Oh, it'll still warm those.
You've always got time for Tim Hortons.
Who says you can't go home again?
Time now for tonight's Molson Cup 3 stars. Number 3 with a goal and an assist, Mike Stapleton for Winnipeg. Sergei Fedorov scored a goal for Detroit. He is the number 2 star on the night, but no question about the number 1 star tonight. With 37 saves and a brilliant third period, Nikolai Khabibulin carries the day for the Winnipeg Jets, who remain undefeated at home. Khabibulin has yet to be beaten this year as well. Jets win over the Red Wings. Back with more on the NHL Tonight in just a moment.
Of plump, juicy raisins and whole grain flakes with bran.
Come on! 2 scoops of raisins in Kellogg's Raisin Bran.
2 scoops.
Yeah.
There's a very simple reason why there's nothing more reliable than Advantage 800 service.
It's not the fact that even our backup systems have backup systems, or that a call can be routed through 8 million alternate routes if there's a problem. It's because if it isn't reliable,
We're sorry. Your call cannot be completed as dialed.
you might as well do this to your business. Advantage 800. Everything in business should be this reliable.
Imagine adhesives so strong they help hold together 100 tons of soaring transportation. Imagine a fabric so bright it lets you see an accident in time to prevent it. Imagine a single disc so powerful it can store almost everything imaginable and protect it for a lifetime. These products and thousands more that make our lives better exist because the people at 3M imagine.
There are those who say they will get around to it and those who actually do. If you'd rather put things up than put them off, try VersaPack, a new rechargeable battery system that powers a whole range of cordless tools. Black & Decker, it's how things get done. True perfectionists never cut corners. However, they will, on occasion, have to sand them. Introducing the VersaPack Cordless Detail Sander from Black & Decker. It's how things get done.
Time now for the TSN Turning Point, brought to you tonight by Apple Auto Glass. Well, it comes in the third period. Winnipeg nursing a 1-goal lead. The Red Wings, great chance. Fedorov is stymied by Nikolai Khabibulin, and then a great stop, an even better one off of Igor Larionov to preserve the 3-2 Winnipeg victory. A cash donation will be made to the Coaching Association of Canada for the training and development of coaches in amateur sport on behalf of TSN and Apple Auto Glass with the Bond for Life system, guaranteed coast to coast. Timo Solani with the game-winning goal for the Winnipeg Jets, his second game-winning goal of the year. Jets perfect on home ice, they're 4-0-2.
The arena is still the home of the Jets. The first place Winnipeg Jets, leaders of the NHL Central Division. Central to the Jets' success is the work ethic. Captain Chris King knows about that. He leads by example and is off to his best start with 4 goals. The former captain has been the center of attention. With his new contract, the best left winger in hockey has proved he's also good at the center spot, with 7 goals and 16 points in only 8 games. Keith Tkachuk's also been central to Timo Solani's return to Finnish flash form. But the centerpiece of the Jets' early success is Nikolai Khabibulin. The former Red Army goaltender has been an iron curtain in 5 of the Jets' 6 wins. And for the Jets to make the playoffs, their record against Central Division rivals will be critical. And in their next 5 games, they bump heads with the Leafs, Blues, and Blackhawks. Tonight, live from the arena, it's the Jets and Maple Leafs in a Central Division showdown